And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. LA Unified School District out there in California on the left coast, they're bribing the students with a slice of pizza to get the vax. Kids 12, 13 years old, bribing them with pizza, not telling the parents, talking about, hey, that's between you and me. Don't tell your mama all this, that, and the third. We shall talk about that. Also, Cuomo is being fired by CNN, and he's already trying to snitch, already trying to sue, talking about, oh, the big boss over there, Jeff Zucker, he knew that I was using my resources to dig up dirt on my brother's accusers. And he's trying to sue him for like, what, $18 million or something crazy like that. I want to see that court case play out. I want to see all the discovery. I want to see all the documentation, paperwork, all of that. And like I said before, Cuomo, please write a book. I'll be the first one to read it. But for now, I'll move on. The white Santa Claus, black Santa Claus controversy is the silliest thing in the world. People are arguing over it as if they saw Jolly Old Saint Nick up in the sky driving some reindeer, dropping off PS5s and AR-15s in your chimney. Have you seen that? I've not seen that. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you have heard thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple iTunes, etc., please give me a 5-star rating, a review, a comment, a share, whatever you can on that platform. I most certainly appreciate it. And if you didn't know, this is a podcast recording live with callers a little bit later, and it will be available on the aforementioned audio streaming platforms. So if you want to replay it, you won't have to go through the rigmarole trying to eat up bandwidth on youtube.com. Go straight there, high quality audio. It'll be up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And shout out to the sponsors, of course. Shout out to you guys always, but shout out to the sponsors. We got ABLmerch.com, my merch website. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, and more, as always. And a lot more stuff coming. ABLmerch.com. Link will be in the box. I know it's Christmas time coming. You want to get gifts for your loved ones, for your friends, family, little crumb snatchers, whatever the case may be. It's all good. We got whatever you need. Now, as far as shipping time, I don't know because things are weird. You know, I saw a FedEx truck. Now, it was an Amazon truck broken down today, and the dude was like directing traffic. It was crazy. His truck was in this really precarious position, like on a curve of a road, on a 2-lane highway. It was, so I'm just saying things go left, but hey, try to get some ordered. Hopefully it'll get to where you are before Christmas time, before your youngins are looking out there for Santa Claus to finish his milk and cookies, right? So ABLmerch.com. Also, you have AnthonyBLogan.com. Whenever I do any video, I write an article for it. Just me. I write the article and I link sources. So nobody can never say that ABL he's biased or anything of that sort. Everyone will know what the sources are. They come from all over the place, left, right, center. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. And if you ever want to find my social media accounts, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and my website. Go to the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. All my links for all my social media are on the page. And I also have my email address and my snail mail address. And shout out to you guys sending me all kind of packages, emails, and whatnot. Hey, if you're listening, Les, I got you a candle. Thank you for that. It smells great. And if you come on the show, give a company a shout out. I appreciate you if you did that. And of course, we got BHEDesigns.com. Again, BHEDesigns.com for the beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. You may have some time to get a flag before Christmas. I can't guarantee you that though, but go ahead and try to get one anyway. It don't matter if Santa Claus is a little bit late. You know what I mean? He is backed up on orders. He'll come in January. Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and order one. that is just like that or one of your very own, large, small, in between, bhedesigns.com. Check them out. And then who else we got? That's pretty much it for the sponsors. Now, where shall we begin as far as the topics? I think I want to start with Jake Tapper. Now, I put up a short about Jake Tapper, but I didn't do a full video on it. And somebody asked me about Ghislaine Maxwell. I've not seen a lot about Ghislaine Maxwell, about the case. I've been following it. I've been following that in a Juicy Smouye case. I've not really seen anything new. I saw some pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell on the plane with Jeffrey Epstein, and she was like, I want to say exactly what she was doing, but she was like massaging his feet. I'm going to just leave that right there, and don't nobody say anything else, please. We got little babies watching. And Juicy Smouye is the same thing. It's like the things that I've seen about their trial is just unnecessary, not really relevant to whether they're going to go to the penitentiary or not, just kind of gross, right? Juicy Smouye put out all kind of gross stuff about the MAGA brothers, right? These big bodybuilding African dudes looking like my cousins, right? My same skin tone and whatnot. If you were to see me and the African dudes next to each other, you'd be like, hey, y'all related, y'all kin or something. You see what I'm saying? I ain't no bodybuilder, but it looked like we some kin. Got the West African features. But anyway, these guys were supposed to be the white guys attacking them out there on that fateful polar vortex night in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, it's so cold, everything is frozen over. I'm surprised he was able to make it to the subway or wherever he went and not freeze to death. That's part of the reason Chicago is not like Los Angeles when it comes to the homeless problem. It's because, number one, they do kind of take care of downtown. You don't really see a lot of stuff downtown Chicago like you would see downtown Los Angeles, obviously. But a big part of the reason why it's like that is because you can't really be homeless during the winter. You're going to die. You're going to be a popsicle straight up and down. But I'll move on. LA is beautiful year round, except for when it rains, when the rats come out and all kind of disease spread, tuberculosis, the plague. But I'm going down a rabbit hole, so I'm going to go ahead and digress and get back out. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Let me get back to where I was. Speaking about Jake Tapper. Was it Jake Tapper? Yeah. So I did a short about Jake Tapper, but it wasn't the full video. He was talking about China. And in this, he kind of surprised me because I did not expect him to go that direction. Oh, and I know now why I was talking about all the other stuff as I was talking about the trials. To sum that up before I get to Jake Tapper, I've not seen anything new from these trials more than what we already know. And the things that I have seen that are new are not really relevant to the case. And they're kind of gross, not suitable for YouTube.com. Not at all. So let's go to the whole Jake Tapper thing. And if I can get a little bit of sound, that'd be great. That will be fantastic. Let's get some sound cracking.
Simpsons episode.
Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Simpsons episode.
Let's not play before I push the button, sir. So let me go ahead and move this down just a tad. Okay, boom. So you see what it says right here. CNN host Jake Tapper destroys China on air. Now, I'm shocked, but I guess I'm not as shocked as what I would have been maybe even last year during Trump. Because understand this, Trump and all of us that are conservative know about how China operate. We know what they do. We know how they are in general. Okay, we see people disappear over there. I think even the Chinese billionaire Jack Ma, he disappeared for a while, and China put out pictures of him. Oh, no, it's all right, it's all good. Here's some pictures of him playing in a nice, safe area. China is very corrupt and very evil, communist regime, one-party system. And Trump will always say it. There was kind of a Cold War between the U.S. and China under Trump, a little bit. He was trying to ban TikTok, trying to ban Huawei, trying to do these things because he understood what China was doing. Now, your CNNs and ABCs and MS-13 DNC, they'd always defend China. A lot of these newspapers like New York Times, they'll have full-page ads brought to you by China. China is a serious problem. That's the actual problem. They keep wanting to talk about Russia, 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 or at least they did under the Trump administration, but now they can't ignore the beast that China has become. And it's partly guys like Jake Tapper, it's partly guys like him and his ilk that are the reason why China has become what it's become. But regardless of what, this is why I'm so surprised that he's saying this right now about China. So let's check it out.
That Simpsons episode in Hong Kong disappeared like Peng Shui, disappeared like citizen journalist Zhang Zhan, whom the Chinese government has locked up for telling the truth about COVID-19, disappeared like the consciences of the millionaires and billionaires in Hollywood and the NBA and the IOC and Wall Street are all so eager for Chinese cash. They are pretending none of this is happening. There is no amount of money that can buy enough soap to wash that blood off their hands.
I mean, that right there from Jake Tapper
Zhang Zhan
is crazy that's crazy to see from Jake Tapper, because CNN would not really allow that. Now, you would hear him say that about Vladimir Putin. You hear him say it about Russia, but China, oh, no. And the big part of the reason why is not because they think that talking about China is racist because they're non-white. It's not even about race. Race is a silly thing that is used to control regular people, in my opinion. The real reason is because China controls so much. They control a lot of things. They're over here. They operate in academia. And that's, I wouldn't be surprised if there was this thing against them in Ivy League schools, because Americans realize that we're being taken over by our own means, by our own colleges, by our own companies, by our own freedoms and laws. We're being taken over. Do you know that, like, the number 2, I think, illegal alien group in America come from China? I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's a sign on the border. And you guys that have been here for a while, you know where I'm going with this, but there's a sign right on the border. And, well, on the border, like in Texas, Mexico, that area. So if you're trying to cross the border illegally and you're going through this desert area, there's a sign out there. And the sign basically says in a few different languages, if you get caught out here and you're having a hard time, you can't really go forward, push the button and say where you are and help will come to you. Now, the sign's in 3 different languages. The most obvious one, of course, is Spanish, because you're right there in Mexico at the border of, the U.S. in Texas. Spanish, then English, of course, and then Mandarin Chinese. It's because they're coming across illegally as well. People think, well, like normies, not you guys. You guys are brilliant. I'm talking about regular normies that don't understand politics. They think that the only ones crossing the border illegally are Mexicans, which is silly. Dumbest thing in the world. People have been caught from all over the whole planet, every country almost. Every country in the world has been caught at the southern border trying to get in. Why? Because it's easy to get in. Remember all the Haitians, 15,000 Haitians? Where'd they come from? People were scratching their head. How did they get from Haiti to Texas? It ain't, people, they got money to a certain extent. They'll fly, they'll go on the boat, they'll do whatever they can. Everybody wants to come here, not just, the poor Mexican having a hard time. Like I was watching today, I was watching the news, and I think there was a talk with the president of Guatemala. It was on Fox, matter of fact. And I forget who was interviewing them, but I wasn't really paying attention, but I heard a little bit of the conversation. I heard some of the questions. And then they were trying to ask the president of Guatemala, well, why are they crossing over? Is it because there's so much poverty? It's like, man, stop. Stop. Like the people coming over, the people that are coming over are not coming over because they're poor. They come over because they're trying to get more money. You see what I'm saying? Because it costs a lot of money to get smuggled over here. You're paying them coyotes $5,000 and $10,000 per person to get over here. So, I mean, do you have $5,000 to $10,000 you can just spend right now, and you might actually lose it because you may pay that $5,000 to try and come across and be unsuccessful, and you got guys that are trying over and over again. So you keep spending that money over and over again. Do you have $20,000 in your pocket just to blow? Can you go to Vegas right now and put $25,000 on red and let it rip without any kind of worries? Can you do that? So I don't want to hear this whole excuse about, oh, they're poor, they're trying to find better opportunities, they're just poor migrants, blah, blah, blah. That's not who's coming over. A lot of the migrant workers are given visas and stuff like that. They're not coming over illegally. The illegal aliens got money, a lot of them. Not all, but a lot of them got money. Because how do you get from China to Brownsville, Texas with no money? You tell me. You know how far that is? A lot of Americans have never left their hometown, let alone the country. So you come from Hunan province, China, to Brownsville, Texas, talking about, oh, I'm poor, I don't got no money. Stop. Just stop. Let's stop the cap, as the cool kids say. Stop the madness. Stop the lies. It's all lies. They got money. So then when I heard the question posed to the Guatemalan president, oh, how are you going to solve poverty? See, that's just, I mean, why play games like that? If I was a president of Guatemala, you know what I would say to that question? I would be like, man, look, it's not about poverty. The poor people aren't leaving, really. They are just minding their business, doing their everyday thing. Those that are leaving are, narco traffickers, or they're trying to make money in the States. They got sent money. They have family already in the States. They send their money back, and they're using that money to try to get over. They might have a family member that's, got some kind of landscaping business, and they got plenty of money. They send money back to get them over. This whole poverty excuse is bogus, because they could use the money that they're being sent to live very nice in Guatemala, but that's not what they want. They want to take that money and go over to the U.S. and live life in abundance. Okay, I see them over here all the time. Okay, the Guatemalans be about 4'11", all of them, male, female, adult, child, 4'11". That's the cap on the Guatemalan height. No, and I'm telling you what I see, so I know them when I see them, and they're out here riding Benzes. They are doing very well for themselves. Got a whole community. In Chattanooga, where I'm at right now, there's a school called Howard downtown. The school at one point was 100% black. 100%, no lie, all black. Seriously, like nobody white, nobody else, 100% black. And now it's 75% black. So what made it change? Because all the Guatemalans and everybody coming over now, 25% Hispanic. And before you know it, it'd be like Compton and Watts, and, well, not Watts, but Compton. Compton at one point, when it was first, I guess, established, it was all white in Los Angeles, like South LA. Then it became all black, like in the Boys in the Hood era, I suppose. Like that was like at the height of it. Now it's majority Hispanic. That's what's happening all over the country. And they're building communities. They got their stores, restaurants, businesses. They got their own little schools. They got churches and everything. They're building. So I'm not trying to hear this poor migrant excuse. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the poor fruit picker and bet maker excuse like Barack Obama said. All right. So that's what I got to say on that. But yeah, shout out to Jake Tapper over at CNN for keeping it all the way real. I wonder if they're going to have this stance going forward, talking about things in a more realistic way. They probably won't be all the way conservative at any point in the future, but they may go a slightly different direction rather than trying to do the Trump bashing, because they realize that the Trump bashing, that's a thing of the past. Trump is gone. He's not in office anymore. So you can't just bash a guy that's not there. You pretty much bashing the ghost. I mean, he still is alive, obviously, but he's not in politics. So they can't do that anymore. The ratings are bombing. So now they got to kind of switch and do something else. And that brings me to your man, Chris Cuomo, formerly of CNN. Check it out. So Chris Cuomo got caught up in so many different little things. First of all, Chris Cuomo there's been plenty of times when he's been out in the public, just general public, walking around, getting into confrontations with people. There was one video, a cell phone video of him in the bar, cussing that guy out. I think the guy called him Fredo. He's like, it's like being called the N-word for Italians. Really weird. And then he was outside of his house with no mask on during a lockdown and talking to his neighbors. There's been all kind of little videotapes of him that have surfaced that make you say, hey, what's that? You say one thing on there, but here you are doing something else. What's going on with your character? Are you Fredo for real? Like, what's going on? From The Godfather, if I'm not mistaken. Like, what's going on with you, sir? You're kind of weird. So, but that's not really a big deal, I suppose. But then, when you're talking about his professional life, like on camera, well, on camera, I'll talk about that. His brother is obviously Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of New York before he resigned. Now, during the whole time of the scandemic, when it first came out, you got Andrew and Chris being on camera with the big Q-tip, all this and that. Remember the whole big Q-tip situation? Remember he had the big Q-tip and he was teasing his brother, all this and that. And they be on air talking about, well, mom liked me more. No, she liked me more. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, that was a whole little back and forth banter between Chris and his brother Andrew. And I guess it played well for ratings to a certain extent. It played okay for ratings. Right? Hold on, let me get the screen back. It did okay. It could have done better, I suppose, but it did okay. Let me just put it over where it's supposed to be. Like there. There we go. So you see the big Q-tip and they're laughing and joking, having a good time, all this, that, and the third. It's all funny games. Everybody's laughing it. There's no problems. But the elephant in the room with this situation is that speaking about Andrew Cuomo, well, Chris and Andrew, Chris is not asking Andrew about his sexual harassment allegations because he can't. See, he can't cross that boundary. You could talk about all these fun, lighthearted things on air with your brother, but you can't talk about the elephant in the room, which is the sexual harassment allegations against your brother Andrew when they were happening while he was still the governor. So that's a strike right there because you got a conflict of interest. You can't really talk about the news in a serious way because your brother is involved with it. Now, it should be conflict of interest anyway, aside from the controversy, because your brother is a governor. So, I mean, surely you're able to get some kind of confidential information from him, or you may pass information to him that's confidential, that you get from CNN, that you get from your news sources. It's an improper relationship to have. You shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be able to cover your brother at all. If that's the case, you can't just cover him for positive things and not for the negative things. Either you're going to cover him or you're not going to cover him, period. But anyway, so that was a strike right there. It's a conflict of interest. You're acting weird on camera. What's going on? But then they discovered that Chris was digging up dirt on Andrew's accusers by using his news sources, talking about, hey, what's up with the wedding girl? Remember that picture of the girl at the wedding? And he was, holding her face and she looked petrified. I'm talking about petrified, like a deer in the headlights, getting ready to get hit at 100 miles an hour. Just, matter of fact, hold on. Let me find that picture right quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So here's a picture I want to show you guys. So this picture right here. Now, Chris was trying to get dirt specifically on her. Now, hey, I'm no Italian. I don't know about all the cultural stuff, but I do know about a little bit of body language, okay? I know a little bit about body language, and I know that you may have just caught Andrew in kind of an Italian moment, right? With his His bottom lip pretty much gone up under his top lip and teeth and everything, looking like most of this like from The Simpsons. But she's completely scared. Oh, please don't touch me. That's what I'm hearing from her face. Look at her face. Terrified. So she came out and said that this right here, this interaction was inappropriate and she didn't like it. Look at the body language. Defensive, trying to put her arms up to get his hands off of her. The face, I'm terrified. I don't like, everything is saying stop. He may not mean that in that way. He may be just trying to greet her in the, I guess, quote unquote, Italian way, whatever that means. However, when you're on the left, see, you got to be careful where you align yourself, because on the left, this is harassment. This is something that you can get in trouble for. You can't do that if you're on that side of the aisle. You got to abide by all their rules. That's how it goes. And when you don't abide by their rules on the side that you're on, then what are you talking about? And beyond that, when you're talking about harassment cases and things of that nature, Andrew Cuomo most certainly supported the witch hunt against Brett Kavanaugh and Donald Trump. So you can't support the witch hunt against Brett Kavanaugh with no evidence, nothing like this, no pictures. You got one person talking about, oh, back 100 years ago, he touched me at a party, all this and that and the third, with no evidence at all that she even has met him before. You can't support that and say, oh, trust all women, believe all women. But then when this happens, be like, oh, well, I'm just Italian. Nah, see, you can't do that, because you already set the precedent. You already supported somebody saying something like this about someone else. So when it comes to you, you got to take whatever comes with it. But anyway, so Chris was trying to dig up dirt on her specifically, and that was a problem. And then Chris got an harassment charge against Tim specifically. So Andrew has a cornucopia of charges or allegations against Tim. Chris has an allegation against Tim. It's just too much for the network to bear. So you're like, you know what? Okay, it's been real, Chris. It's been a good run, but it's time for you to go. And he got fired by CNN. Now, Chris is not going out without, he's not going out just softly. Okay, he wants to sue CNN for $18 million for breach of contract. Matter of fact, here's the article right here, New York Post. Chris Cuomo prepping to sue CNN for more than $18 million over contract sources. So, yeah, that's going to be an issue. And like I say, I can't wait for it to happen. If it does, I want to see a tell-all book. I want to see the lawsuit. I want to see all that stuff. He already done told on Jeff Zucker, who was a boss over at CNN, talking about Jeff Zucker knew that I was using my sources to dig up dirt on Andrew's accusers. He already done said that. So that has been kind of set in stone. He's going to sue. So we're going to see a lot of stuff come from this. And speaking about CNN anchors getting involved with high-profile cases, Donna Lemon has been implicated in the whole Juicy Smollett situation. Now, I want to talk about what Juicy said about his, not co-defendants, alleged abductors, the abductor actors. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about Don Lemon and Juicy Smollett. So Jesse said that Don Lemon texted him about the case, talking about the police did not believe his story. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find a specific one that I'm talking about, a specific case. Okay, again, New York Post. So it says, CNN's Don Lemon blasted for not mentioning his own key role in Justice Smollett drama. Okay. So, hold on. Is he talking about it right here? Wait a minute. Let me play this right quick.
Lying to police about an alleged hate crime in 2019. Jussie Smollett, the actor who is accused of lying to police about an alleged hate crime in 2019, testifying in his own defense today. At the time, Smollett told police that two men had attacked him in the street, yelling racist, anti-gay remarks, put a noose around his neck, and poured bleach on him.
the dumbest thing in the world, right? So I guess in that clip right there, he didn't say anything about his own involvement, but that was the dumbest thing in the world. They pour bleach on you. Why would they pour bleach on you when it's like below zero or whatever it was outside? I don't understand. Like, the whole thing didn't make any sense from the very beginning. Okay, if you're gonna stage a hate crime, make it make sense. Don't have no dumb thing like what he did out there. But anyway, so Don Lemon texted Jussie and let him know that the police they didn't believe his story. I guess right when it happened, they didn't believe it. And he said that, but I never heard Don Lemon say anything about him having contact with Jussie Smollett. Have you heard anything about that until just right now? Let me see if I can find the exact quote. Let me see. Here's a little bit of the courtroom sketches. I'm gonna find the exact quote for you guys, and then let me see. It says, more activism by anchor at CNN. The network needs to now address this publicly as well. These texts from Lemon to Smollett came during an active high-profile investigation. CNN mom. Let's see what they're talking about. And I just want to find the exact text. Anyway, you can see what's going on here. A lot of people at CNN and the mainstream media in general work with your Hollywood actors, your politicians, and whatnot to engage in corruption. It's pretty clear. And also the big tech people, big tech and big pharma. Okay, why do you think that Pfizer is all over everywhere and they sponsor everything and they get the first shot at all the new? I wouldn't be surprised at the whole thing about Omicron, Megatron, Peloton, Marion, whatever it is. I would not be surprised if that was a whole ruse to get everybody to get the booster or to create a brand new vax. You know what? Here's my theory about the whole booster thing and the way that the media are operating. What they want to do is create a scare about the variants and about the inefficacy of the current vax to roll out a brand new one when it might be the exact same as the old one, but you got to get it every year. So they try to find a way to finesse you into getting the exact same compound year after year. 3 shots a year, like a flu shot. And I felt like there was a similar level of, how can I say, urgency toward getting the flu shot. And I've never had a flu shot in my adult life. I don't ever recall getting the flu shot. Maybe if when you were a little kid, they give you those shots when you were in school or whatever. I've not had any shots since then. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why I'm not dead is because I'm not 1,000 pounds. I'm not a baby grand piano or a Volkswagen Beetle or a Toyota 4Runner right here. You understand what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way real. I'm not that. And also, you know, I don't smoke crack or do drugs or drink alcohol. I live decent. I'm gonna have a honey bun every now and again, but that's my only vice. Give me a nice iced honey bun on good money. But anyway, that's my only vice. I'm probably not going to keel over and just croak from a honey bun. You get what I'm saying? And my point behind saying that is, I don't think it's necessary to have all these drugs in your system like the way they want you to. All the drugs are being pushed because they get money from the federales. All your taxpayer money, all these bills that are floating around. Oh, let's print $18 trillion million. That money is being spent on Big Pharma. They're getting the money from them. So when somebody says, hey, go to the CVS ABL, the shot is free. Free for who? Free for what? Not free for anybody. You're going to pay for it through inflation. When they keep raising, when they keep printing money, you're going to have a big money supply out there. And the only way that you can make up for it is to increase what things cost. Because you can't produce enough to make up for it. You got to raise the cost to lower the demand so you can meet the demand, because your supply is not going to keep up with the demand. That causes inflation. So when you go to the gas pump, when you do anything and pay more money, that's you paying for the vax right there. They get it through the back door, but I'll move on. So speaking about the vax and things of that nature, let's talk about Los Angeles Unified School District bribing kids to go out there and get the shot. This whole thing was crazy. If you didn't see my video earlier today, I'm going to play some of the video that is on the local news out there in Los Angeles. So again, you know, a big part of the reason why I have my website is because I link sources. Everything's right there. Somebody might just say, man, you made that up, ABL. That didn't happen. That's fake news. That's Fox News propaganda. No. This is not even on national news at all. At least not yet. I've not seen it yet. This is straight local news. Los Angeles. Okay. And let me find that particular clip straight from them. You guys can see it on the screen when I put it up. Hold on. It says, give me 1 second. It says, mom says son vaccinated in exchange for pizza at LAUSD without her consent. So there's a few things there. First of all, you're bribing these kids with food and stuff to get the shot and not even asking the parents or the mother or whoever is the guardian. You're not even asking them, is that legal? Can you be 13 years old and consent to get in the vax with no parental authorization? It should be that you bring some kind of form home and ask, can you get it? It'd be like going on the field trip without having your parents sign off on anything or even know what's going on. You just gone to DC somewhere from Virginia Beach and the mom don't know where you are. You know, you can't do that. You got to have parental consent to get these things. And quite frankly, you shouldn't even get the vax to begin with if you're 13 years old, especially a young boy, because there's big risk of myocarditis. You don't want to be 13 just outside playing football and just keel over because your heart has been swollen up by myocarditis. But anyway, here's a video from NBC Los Angeles, Channel 4. The link, of course, will always be in the description box. Go to my website. It's right on there. It's in the description links for this article about the whole situation. Can we get some sound? That'd be great.
For LAUSD, and now at least two. Well, some parents are questioning the vaccine mandate for LAUSD, and by
the way, there's a vax mandate, but it's not going to go into effect until January 2022 in Los Angeles, and I think it applies to like public schools and other places for kids 12 and above. So if you what's 12 years old, 7th grade, 8th grade, and above, you may be required to get the vax.
At least two parents are accusing the district of giving their children the vaccine at school without their consent. So what are school administrators saying about this?
NBC4's John Ketty-Slimek has more now from South Los Angeles.
Even though the vaccine mandate for LAUSD doesn't go into effect until January 10th, some parents tell us that they believe their kids are being pressured into getting the jab.
I should have been involved.
Maribel Duarte says her 13-year-old son, a student at the Barack Obama Global Prep Academy in South LA, brought home this vaccine card after having accepted the COVID-19 vaccine at school. She says he said yes when someone offered it in exchange for pizza.
The lady that gave him the shot and signed the paper was the one that told my son, please do not say anything. I don't want to get in trouble.
Now, pause. We're in South LA. We're in the hood, okay? This is a Barack Obama prep school, right in the hood, right by Hawthorne, Crenshaw, all that stuff. You're right in the hood, right? Black and Hispanic. So when the progressives say, oh, we're doing everything for the black and brown community, does doing everything for the black and brown community mean bribing some young Hispanic boy with some pizza to get the vax without telling his mom? Is that how we support the black and brown community in progressive Los Angeles, progressive left coast California? Is that what we do? Oh, okay, cool.
LAUSD says student matters are confidential and wouldn't comment specifically, but did say its Safe Schools to Safe Steps incentive program is meant to ensure several steps are in place for vaccinated students to receive prizes. Duarte says she's not against the vaccine. She's vaccinated herself, but it's different with her son.
In regards to my son's health, I am against it.
Because he's got some underlying conditions that concern you?
Yes. He has problems with asthma and allergy problems.
These grotesque contests and displays of treatment and candy and gifts and favors, raffles and cash prizes.
Candy, gifts, favors, raffles, cash prizes. I mean, come on. You're bribing the kids to go and get this. Is it even legal? aside from the ethics, it's clearly unethical beyond that. I mean, you're giving the kids some candy to take some drugs. Is that what we're going to do? Clearly unethical, right? But is it even legal? That's the question. Can you coerce a child or manipulate them to get this vax? Is that what we're going to do?
Inducing the kids to get the vaccination. But here's the problem. Kids in California cannot consent to vaccination.
Attorney Jennifer Kennedy has been following the two cases against LAUSD over the vaccine mandate, currently making their way through court. Both are ultimately seeking an end to that mandate.
The LAUSD does not have the power to add a vaccine shot to the California school schedule. You couldn't do it if you're a Podunk school district, and you can't do it even if you're LA Unified, the second biggest in the nation.
Correct.
You don't have that legal authority.
In California, school vaccines are handled through the State Department of Public Health and created into law through the state legislature. Neither has gone so far as to officially make the mandate.
Even the existence of the mandate in the schools has created these environments of pressure and bullying, segregation, discrimination, and accidental vaccination of kids without parental consent.
LAUSD says as of the Thanksgiving break, 80% of eligible students at Obama Prep have been vaccinated. Maribel worries some of those were done without parents even knowing.
It hurted to know that he got a shot without my permission, without me even knowing or signing any papers for him to get this shot.
A school administrator here on campus came over to tell us that they do not believe these allegations to be true. In fact, he told us that he believes more often than not, parents will lie about the whole vaccine issue.
So the parents are going to lie. That's the whole thing. That's the end of the video right there. So to explain it all the way, man, the parents are making that up. They're lying about that. The question is, why would they lie? If the mom came out there and said, I'm not even anti-vax, I got the vax, but my son has medical problems, he shouldn't be taking it. And if they were going to ask him to take it, they should have asked me first. They got my permission. And then I would have said, you know what, let's not do that. Or at least give me the option to tell you what's going on. You see what I'm saying? They're forcing these kids to get it. They're making them take it. And then the craziest part was, according to the mom, the person who gave her son the shot told him to not tell her. So you're bribing them with pizza, giving them the shot without parental consent at 13 years old, and then saying, don't tell your mom. What does that sound like? Are they grooming these kids? See, I mean, this is part of the reason why they don't want parents to go to the school board meeting, because they understand doing something like that might put you in danger. Now, I'm not saying I would ever do anything like that. I would never hurt a fly. I'm the nicest guy in the world. I don't even punch air because I want to offend the air. I'm just saying, if something like that happens, you got to understand the response is going to be. People are going to be upset. They're going to be angry. They're going to be mad. So they're probably trying to hop out in front of it because they know they're doing things like this. And they're trying to prevent you from saying anything to prevent any kind of conflict. That's probably what's going on. Because when the federales say they're watching you, they want you to know it. A lot of times they watch you and don't tell you because they don't want you to know it. They want you to keep on doing what you're doing. And then they come around 10 years later talking about, okay, we've been watching you for the past 10 to 15 years. Here's all the evidence. Hands behind your back, you're going to the penitentiary the rest of your life. That's how they want to do sometimes. But sometimes when they tell you what's going on, they're trying to scare you off, telling you to back off, don't worry about it, we got it. That's the whole agenda, in my humble opinion, right? So yeah, school districts are crazy. If you're living in Los Angeles, man, I put it to you like this. If you're living in LA and your kids are in schools, public schools, God bless you. Being in California in general is rough right now, especially in the city areas like Los Angeles, San Fran. If you're living out there and you have no bulletproof vest, no body armor, no Call of Duty weapons, and no disease repellent, I heard there was a tuberculosis outbreak on Skid Row in Los Angeles in the homeless area, maybe even the plague, because you got rats out there too. You got rats, trash, all types of human waste and drugs and all that. I mean, you have a recipe for disaster. There could most certainly be a big disease outbreak from right there. You're talking about Wuhan, China levels of disease outbreak. Resident Evil, Last of Us, you're talking about video game, I Am Legend right there in LA because of all the filth and stuff that's right in that location. If you live out there, hey, hopefully you're able to get out and move away. People tell me all the people. I get the question all the time. I live in California. Can we save it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the way to save California would be to break it up or to leave. If you are able to break California up and live in a good area once it's broken up of the former California, or if you live in a decent area now that's far enough away from the madness, then you'd be all right. But if you're living right in the belly of the beast, then you can forget about it. You can forget about it. It's going to be a wrap. World War Z is right, Jason. World War Z autumn, 28 days later, that's pretty much what's going to happen if this kind of stuff keeps on going. And the drugs are fueling all of it. 100%. If you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And I most certainly appreciate you if you did. We got a few more topics on deck. The Patriot Front. Now, a lot of you guys have been emailing me about the Patriot Front. I got quite a few emails, and they're very interesting. Now, the Patriot Front, I heard about them for like a day. They were all over the internets, all over the news internets for like one day, because there was a march in D.C., and they were trying to say they were going toward the Capitol, which they weren't at the Capitol. They were just were in D.C., and they said they're white supremacists and all this and that, all kind of stuff, right? That's what they said. But my question is, are they really? Who are these guys for real? Now, a lot of you guys are saying they're real guys. But my point, as I pull up the march, if you guys didn't see it, my point is that any group that looks like this, hold on, I'm putting them up on the screen. Any group that looks like this and they want to label them as far right, white supremacists, neo-Nazi or whatever, if they label you like that, they're watching you. And they already infiltrated you, in my opinion. If you're not infiltrated, you're most certainly being watched, 100%. And the federalists have all kind of technology that you don't know about, and they can find what's going on. And these guys probably don't do anything that's necessarily illegal, because if they did, they most certainly will get found out by the feds ASAP, because they're going to have a higher level of scrutiny on them. Remember when conservatives, I'll play it right quick as I'm talking. Matter of fact, hold on, because they're talking too. But remember when conservatives were targeted by the IRS, like literally targeted by the IRS, conservative people, organizations, all that good stuff, targeted. What's going on here? Is there anything? They do that. A quick story before we get to the video. Back in Virginia a few years ago, when I was doing my flyer thing, my graphic design thing, making flyers for businesses, a lot of guys that I was working with had restaurants, and some of these guys were dope boys using the restaurant as a front, which is very common, unfortunately, especially in VA, right there on the water. But anyway, some of these guys got caught up in drug charges. One guy I know got locked up. Right when he got locked up, I get a call from the city talking about, hey, what are you doing? Like, for a living, I'm being sent paperwork to file taxes. Like, they had been tracking them and me because they saw me go to the place with a box of flyers. I'm just delivering flyers. They're trying to figure out, okay, like, what's going on? They probably tracking my plates. They're trying to figure out who I am because of them. Now, if they can do that on a local level, this ain't no feds involved. This is a local case. If they can do that on a local level, not even in the big major city, what are they doing when you're talking about the federales in D.C. with a group with like 200 guys in it? They are most certainly watching you. If you do anything illegal, anything improper, anything that's some kind of way almost illegally offensive, you're going to the joint. Unless you got guys in the group that are feds. Or you're just not doing anything wrong and you good. So I'm not sure what kind of shields these guys have, like what's on the shield. I see kind of like American flags, and this the shield, for you guys that can't see the video, the shield is like kind of a matte black with 2 yellow bars, and I can't see what that is, like some kind of white bumper sticker type thing or some flags, like American flags, and they all have on white face masks like net gaiters, okay, with the hockey tint glasses, the blue tint shades, so they're covering their eyes. At least the one guy has a blue tint shades right there where my cursor is. Other guys have on just like regular sunglasses, and they're flying American flags on the flagpole. Looks like the original Betsy Ross 1776 flag, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a 3%er flag. I can't really tell what it is, but I do see the star circle on the star field on the flag, and they have on khaki pants and blue shirts. Right away when I saw them, I said, Fed, let's play the video so they can continue to march. Now, there's a reason why I think they're Fed, because remember the whole Lincoln Project thing? It reminded me of this 100%. This reminded me of Lincoln Project. And we saw the Lincoln Project. That was a total scam from the beginning. They brought out those guys and girls, one black dude randomly with white shirts and khaki pants and a tiki torch that was not lit, that couldn't be lit because it was raining outside, torrential downpours, and their shirts were pretty much wet t-shirt contests. But anyway, so when I saw these guys, I'm like, all right, it's got to be the same thing. And they have a banner they're carrying that says "Reclaim America," and some of these guys have on like knee pads or like shin guards. Are they going to play soccer? Like, what's going on? Either they're going to play soccer or they're going to be installing some hardwood floor in somebody's house after their march. A little bit of cussing going on, but that's pretty much it. So right when this thing happened, like it was that march, and then it was one that night, if I'm not mistaken, in DC. The left called them white supremacists and all kind of stuff like that. Now, to me, it looked like feds, but a lot of you guys are saying they're not feds, they're real guys. But anyway, I can guarantee you that the federales are watching them. They may not be infiltrated yet. They may not get infiltrated, but they're being watched. All of us are being watched to a certain extent, but those guys, oh yeah. Remember the Proud Boys? It was the same thing. And I know some of the guys that are kind of affiliated with the Proud Boys. I know some of those guys. And that was a Fed operation. Enrique Tarrio, the leader, wound up being the Fed, a federal witness. It's like, and when that happened, I wasn't even surprised. When I found that out, wasn't even shocked. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. I put it to you like this. Anybody watching me, anybody listening to me, if you want to join one of those groups like that, just know that you're being watched by the feds, or one of your members that's right next to you could be a Fed. That's just what it is. And a lot of these gangs are the same way. A lot of the street gangs. Now, I don't know about those guys, the Patriot Front guys. I'm not really sure what they do. But a lot of the street gangs are the exact same way. There'll be guys in there snitching. It'll be the guy you never expect. Always. All right. But you guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. Y'all let me know if these guys are fed, if these guys are real, whatever the case may be. Maybe some of you guys that are involved with it or know some guys might call me up and let me know what's going on. Give me the full rundown. But I tell you what, though, don't be surprised when one of the guys that you see as your brother, the leader, go straight to the police and be like, my name is Officer McGillicuddy, and I've been in this group for the past 10 years, bringing them down from the top to the bottom. Don't be surprised, because it always happens. You see it time and time again, but I'll move on. Did I get everything I wanted to get to? I got to LAUSD, Chris Cuomo. Oh, the white Santa Claus. Now, this was a topic I wanted to cover for a while because one of my callers last time was talking about white Santa and black Santa and got triggered. Personally, I don't care what you color Santa, because although we all know that Santa Claus is based on St. Nicholas and St. Nicholas was not a black person. I guess he was from Turkey? Somebody said Turkey. Somebody said Sweden. That's a big difference between Turkey and Sweden. But anyway, somewhere in Europe, that's where St. Nicholas is from, correct? Although we know it's based on the real character, a real person, pardon me, Santa Claus is not real. There's no guy up in the sky right now. If you got little kids and they believe in Santa Claus, please cover their ears up. If you're an adult that's like 45 years old, still believing, cover your ears up. But there's no guy up in the sky with a reindeer sleigh with the airplane waving at the pilots. There's no guy up there with a big cargo net full of your gifts, sliding an AR-15 in your chimney, a PS5 in your chimney, a Bratz doll in your chimney. You live in an apartment, ain't no chimney. He's not going to go through the bars of your window in South LA to throw in a Barbie doll. It's just, so this person is not real. So the character is for kids that believe in it. You can make Santa Claus be whatever you want to be, within reason, in my opinion. And understand me when I say within reason. I don't really want to see a gay Santa Claus kissing a man. I'm not trying to see the sexuality put upon Santa Claus because it's for kids. You see what I'm saying? That's just kind of weird. And as far as having the female Santa Claus, I'm not necessarily in favor of that because it kind of ruins the aesthetic. The aesthetic is you got to have fat man, big belly, white beard. The color is not necessarily that important to kids because they don't really, but they see the big beard and the big belly and the outfit and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Just like I don't want to see a goth Santa Claus in all black with, he's smoking a cigar that's kind of halfway, the ash is all over his beard. I'm not trying to see Los Angeles dope fiend Santa in there, with kids taking pictures. I want to see him look nice and jolly. No dope fiend Santa Claus. Have the right aesthetic and we're good to go. We're good money. The color is irrelevant unless we're doing some kind of movie where we're talking about St. Nicholas, aside from the man that's in the sky dropping off gifts in the chimney. But anyway, there was no third gender Santa, nothing like that, because again, we're talking about sexuality, and I don't think we should introduce sexuality to children. Little kids that's 5 years old trying to go see Santa. I'm not trying to have them be presented with a 7'5" transgender Santa Claus. That's just not the wave. It's inappropriate for kids. So that's why I say let's not do that. But anyway, so there was a commercial on Etsy. Well, not on Etsy, pardon me. It's an Etsy commercial. I did a video about it, obviously. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to play it right here so you guys can understand what's going on. The music, not necessary right now because the main thing is going to be it'd be all right. The music would be all right because I didn't get copyright strike on that one. So let's put it up right quick. So let me just put it over right there. Okay, if this will work, fine. Now, the premise for you guys that can't see the screen, and there's no dialogue, so I got to kind of explain it for guys that can't see. You listening to the audio only. What you have is a mall, and it's Christmas time, obviously. Christmas trees everywhere. Everybody has their own Christmas festive stuff. What you have is mostly non-blacks, might be some Asians, Hispanics, whites, but mostly non-blacks. Except for one family, you have the granddad, the father, and a son, a little boy, probably about 6, 7, 8 years old. Little kid, right? He's excited. He has on his little Santa Claus hat. He's ready to go. Now, the granddad is not so excited, right? So as the commercial plays, he's looking around and he's seeing all kind of merchandise with Santa Claus on it. So now the little boy is taking the grandfather to go meet Santa and take the picture. So the little boy's happy, got a white Santa Claus. He has the aesthetic perfect aesthetic. Fat man, beard, great mustache, perfect Santa Claus, right? The kid's happy. He's great. The dad is happy, but the granddad is not happy. The granddad is frowning his face up. He's doing that right there because he does not like the fact that there's a white Santa Claus. He does not like the white Santa Claus right there or the white Santa Claus from the products he saw, from the bag or the sweater or whatever he was seeing, right? He didn't like it. That's why he's upset. And, you know, he has his face screwed up in the picture. Now you fast forward to Christmas Day and the family's at home and little boy's up under their tree trying to, you know, open up presents, reach for presents. And he finds a present for his grandfather and the grandfather's opening it. And now you have a Christmas stocking with a black Santa Claus's face on it. So now he has a smile. No face screwed up now. Now he's smiling. And it's all good. You know, got the veneers and the dentures fully out, right? Having a good old time. So the moral of this commercial is, I don't like white Santa Claus. Give me the black Santa. That's the whole thing. Now, I never understood that. Now, this is kind of a weird thing I see because it could be kind of a cultural situation. Because when I was a kid, seeing a black Santa was not uncommon, but seeing a white Santa was also not uncommon. It wasn't even really a thing. It wasn't like nobody really cared necessarily. It was just like, okay, black Santa, cool, great. It wasn't really nothing. Because like I said, the main thing was, as stated, fat man, big beard, you know, the red and white, the hat, that was the main thing. You're in the mall, right by the Macy's, take a picture with Santa Claus and go about your day. The main thing was, can I get my toys up under the tree? Can I open them right now? Can I get one early to open up on Christmas Eve? That was our main thing about Christmas. Not about a white Santa or a black Santa, you know. And I definitely would not be an 80-year-old man getting triggered about Santa Claus. I mean, if you're 80 years old, you shouldn't be talking about, you know, you shouldn't be so butthurt over kids, like fantasies, you know what I'm saying? Just like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, all that kind of stuff. Did anybody really care how the Tooth Fairy looked or if the Easter Bunny was real? I mean, these are like little fantasies for kids, little stories and whatnot for kids to believe in. And then when they get to be a certain age, they grow out of it and go on with their life. That's how it goes. It's simple, very simple. Hey, you can have whatever kind of Santa Claus you want to, because at the end of the day, especially like where I was at, when I was a kid, I grew up in all black areas. My city where I lived at had 125,000 population, about 125, or even one, I think at the top, it might have been 175 population. So a pretty big city that was 55, 60% black. And my neighborhoods I lived in were always 100% black. It was nobody light-skinned in my neighborhoods. Everybody looks just like me, 100%. Okay? It's a whole different world. When I was out there in Scottsdale, it was weird because I'm seeing white folks walking around in the city at night. I'm like, y'all not, is it okay? It was weird for me. Anyway, I'm from 100% black area. So if I go to a mall and everybody's black, you might see a black Santa Claus. Why? Because everybody's black. You might see a white Santa Claus if you go to a white part of town or a more mixed area. It's not really a big deal, but some people are really upset about that. And I don't think it really makes any sense to be mad. Now, if you have a situation where you have, like, let's say you have Martin Luther King Jr. and you got Chris Pratt playing him, I'm like, all right, that does not make sense. There's no fictional version of MLK. Ain't no MLK Claus up in the sky dropping off PS5s and Jordans and cars and whatnot through your chimney. MLK is MLK. Same thing with Honest Abe is Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln. They're all actual people with no fictional, no parallel version of them in the fictional world, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah, when I get to be And no, man, I'll be a Santa Claus. If I can get a fake beard or grow some kind of white beard, which probably won't happen, but if I can get me a little fake beard, fake mustache, I'm doing it. I'm already pretty much gray right now, so 5 more years I'll be Santa Claus. Give me a fat suit and I'll be good to go. All right. Is there Santa Claus in China? I doubt it. And a Santa Claus in China, I doubt that very much. And there's no Santa Claus in certain communities because you got people that believe in different religions, you Muslims or whatever, that are very, very religious. Some people don't celebrate Christmas. You know, that's a whole different story right there. So I'll go ahead and move on. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you like what you are hearing, go ahead and give me a like on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And let's get to the super chats, and then we'll get to the actual calls. So where am I at? All right, let's go to the super chats. Then we shall get to the calls. And where are we? So I think here we are. Super chats on deck. And then we get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And there's always a link to the Skype in the description box. Well, Skype email. You could use that. That'll be just fine. And let's go ahead and get it rocking and rolling. What's the day? December the 8th. Let's go to where those super chats are. Thank you to Apu, of course, with a whole bunch of them. I'm going to just read these. Please play Fauci Ouchie rap for @Doug Ripley. @Doug Ripley loves a Fauci Ouchie rap. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to find this. I wasn't really going to find it. I'm not quite sure. You guys got to send me the correct ones. I'm seeing a few different ones right here. I'm seeing these two young ladies with a ukulele. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it is. Let me see if this could be it right here. Hold on. Okay, I can't play that because it got music, and I'm not sure if it's copyrighted, so let's not. Let's not. But if you guys can send me the actual song you're talking about, I might be able to play it. But with the music and stuff like that, y'all trying to give me a copyright strike. Hold on. Shout out to the Federales in Patriot Front. Love the khakis. Also, God bless January 6th, Mega Patriots in DC jail, solitary. And these are all from Apu, the super chats here I'm reading. Check Patriot Freedom Project to help you if you can. ABL, on a scale of 1 to 10, how organized are you? A 10. I'm the most organized guy that anybody on this stream knows. I'm the most organized guy you ever come across. That's my whole thing. I'm super organized. Also, ABL, what's your pet peeve? What drives you crazy? People that are disorganized, clutter, mess, a hoarder. Man, I see that show Hoarders, and when I watch it, I'm just getting triggered. I'm like, man, pick the stuff up. But you know, it gets kind of sad when they're hoarding real bad, and they got to try to like carve out little alleyways in their house to walk around. I don't do that. I routinely, if I have clothes I'm not wearing a lot, you know, I give them the Goodwill. I do that all the time. Any clothes, shoes, whatever, anything that needs to go out, I throw it out. I do that all the time. But a lot of people, they just kind of hoard up stuff because they don't want to throw it out. Or I might need it one day. Meanwhile, 10 years have gone by, you ain't even seen it. You're not going to need it one day. Throw it away. Don't be a hoarder. That's the worst. But anyway, thank you to Stavros, who says, ABL, can I get a penny every time someone says, let's go Brandon and hashtag FJB? I'll make more money than Jeff Bezos, LOL. Oh yeah, you be rich. Thank you to Marco Casillas, who says, thank you for giving us real news with X ABL. Hey, no problem, is what I do. Real news all the time. Ben Grimerson said, Tim Pool said the variant's name, the real name is G, not Omicron. Yeah, because they skipped G in the alphabet because you already know why. You got Winnie the Pooh that might get a little bit offended. You understand? Thank you to Edward Nelson for the thumbs up emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to DJ TFJB who says, stay well, ABL, will do. Apu says, here's how Biden can pull up his poll numbers. Prosecute Bill and Hillary for the crimes of corruption of the Clinton Foundation. Not even Trump did it. Also, shout out to the Federale spying on ABL. Hit like. Thank you to Atomic Tabasco who says, ABL Christmas. Got hubby, I digress hat, sir mug, ABL logo t-shirt. All right, fantastic. That's a good gift right there. Thank you to Labra Bulls who says, if a person is not, here's a quote, if a person is not a liberal when he is 20, he has no heart. If he is not a conservative when he is 40, he has no brain. Unquote. Exactly. 100%. Thank you to Zenith who says, a white John Henry will be applicable. Yeah, you could do that. That's fine. You know, that'd be totally fine. Well, isn't that also like Paul Bunyan? Like, isn't that the John Henry equivalent of a white person? Like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, folklore heroes and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. It ain't really no big deal. Hold on, let me see. Did I get everybody? Conflict says, I honestly don't care if Santa is black or white as long as there never is a drag queen version. Exactly. Right on. Give me the same aesthetic. Give me the same jolly old fat guy. You know, that's beard. That's it. I ain't trying to see no drag queen Santa Claus prancing around on television because you know they'll do it. You know they'll do it. I saw, what's his name? Billy Porter, the HIV positive drag queen LGBT icon guy. He was on television singing gospel songs in like semi-drag. I'm like, what is this? What is going on here? Now, I wasn't watching TV when I saw this. I saw it. It was a clip I saw on the internets of him doing this. Matter of fact, hold on. I might play it if it's appropriate. Like, I don't think he had his stuff out or nothing like that. I think it was just he had on the dress. Or I might show you guys what I'm talking about if it's appropriate to show. Matter of fact, no, let's not. let's not, because I already know it's not going to be appropriate. But anyway, I'll go ahead and digress on that one for sure. Thank you to A. Kano who says, I want a white and a black Santa and a new AR and a PS5. Love you, bro. Does Latino Santa bring me tacos and tequila? Hey, whatever you want, man. Tacos, tequila, all that, man. Give me some refried beans. Whatever you want, dog. He'll bring it to you. Queso. You be good. You be good money. Avocado. Thank you to Farno Faye who says, shout out to Jesus Mouillet for being Hollywood's dumbest criminal besides Alec Baldwin, allegedly. You saw Alec chase the reporter in New York. I think I heard about Alec going crazy on a reporter. Hold on. Let me just make sure. I'm going to try to find that clip right quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Right on time. Put a clip in the corner right there.
Wait, Mr. Baldwin, I have to ask you, what brings you to New York City?
I asked you to leave.
Mr. Baldwin.
Oh, there go Hilaria. Remember Hilaria Baldwin, the fake Mexican? Oh, I got a video I'm going to do tomorrow about a fake Indian person in Canada. Oh, that one right there, golden.
Why? Who's here?
I asked you to go away. Please go away.
Photograph under somebody's private home.
This is not anyone's private home. Are you? This is not this is public property.
Go away. Stop.
Who's here? Did you really not pull the trigger? Do you believe it went off without you pulling the trigger? Was it a malfunction?
Wow. Hey man, that umbrella was like a gun in his hand, wasn't it? That was, he kind of like had a flashback. Man, wish I had that gun in my hand. You'd be out of here. That's what that was. Wow. Such anger. That right there don't look good on him, man, because you got all this. They're weird, man. Hollywood is weird. She's weird. He's weird. They're all weird. Ultimately, we're going to see what happens with this whole case if he goes to the Who's Goo or whatever. I saw a lot of good videos about single action revolvers, and people were saying that it's impossible for him to have pulled the hammer back and let it go and have the gun just go off without him pulling the trigger. If he would have, like, he could say this. If before he cocked the pistol, he was holding the trigger, that would release the mechanisms that prevent it from just going back and then up. If that makes any sense. Basically, if you're not touching the trigger, if you're not depressing the trigger, and you try to put a hammer back, it's just going to kind of click, 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 click. It's not going to you couldn't just pull it all the way back and let it go to fire the weapon. You couldn't do that. If you're holding the trigger and you do that, it won't click at all. It'll just go all the way back and up. Because when you're depressing the trigger, it does not have all those things in place to have the clicks. It'll just go all the way back and you let it go, it'll fire. But you gotta be depressing that trigger. The trigger must be manipulated in some kind of way, period. Unless the gun was faulty or some kind of way failed. But you gotta be able to prove that. You gotta prove it. I'm not sure where the gun is right now. Is it in Quantico, Virginia, with the federales got it? They gotta prove that. If they can't prove that, he's toast. Because that means he was pulling the trigger. But he got on TV say he didn't pull the trigger. You see what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, I didn't pull the trigger while you were pulling the trigger. So Donut said misinformation. I mean, am I lying? If I'm lying, I'm lying. All I'm saying is I saw a video where the person demonstrated what was going on. They had a revolver, a single action revolver, and they did a demonstration. Now, maybe that person, the expert, is wrong. But we're going to see this when it comes to court. We shall see. Somebody says he was umbrella man on the grassy knoll. Hilarious. Hilarious. All right. Also, thank you to Fauna Faye who said, Joe, what happened to Hillary's accent? Oh, yeah, that went away talking about how you say in English, cucumber. It's like, man, if you don't stop, Hilaria, a.k.a. Hillary from Connecticut. Thank you to Jedi 2 Billion who says Santa light skinned because supposedly from North Pole. right. Yeah, that's where he lives, North Pole. He's an Eskimo, pretty much, which are like Asians. But anyway, I'll move on. You guys are the best audience. It's time for the... Oh, and also before we get to the calls, the thing about it is he had a live round in the chamber. There should be no live rounds on the set. There's so many problems with what Alec Baldwin said in that interview. There were so many issues before the shooting happened that somebody going to the penitentiary, I'm not sure who it is. Is it going to be Alec? Is it going to be the armorer? Somebody going to the joint because somebody made a fatal mistake here. Or there may have been multiple fatal mistakes in the whole situation that led up to the shooting of the young lady, may she rest in peace, and also the director, Joe Sousa. All right, so let's go ahead and get on rocking and rolling. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If Skype does not work, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. He's responsible. I don't take no accountability at all. All right. And of course, there's also an email in the description box. If you want to call in that way, that'd be fantastic. Let's get to the first one. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, ABL, my brother from another mother.
What's going on?
How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
About this Santa Claus thing, and, you know, I remember the first time I heard the term Black Jesus. I was like, okay. Because it's never in the Bible what color Jesus was, and it never occurred to me to care about it. And it's like Santa Claus, yeah, he came from a Nordic country, and St. Nicholas came from a Slavic area, you know, down by the Caucasus and stuff, where he stopped a family from selling their daughters into slavery by leaving gold in their little hut, you know, because that's a pretty poor area. Actually, the word slave comes from Slavic. They were very popular people to enslave.
That's right.
But, I get a lot of my information from a man named Thomas Sowell. I know a lot of people out there that vote Democrat, never heard of him, and it just amazes me because I'm 61 years old, and I've followed Thomas Sowell since I was a kid, you know. Back then he was a radical, you know, communist supporter and all that, and then he changed, and people said, well, what happened? And he said, facts.
That's right.
And I'd like to give a shout out to a young black woman who's a conservative in Washington, D.C., if that's all right with you.
Go ahead.
She's got a beautiful mind, ABL. Her name's Jasmine Contour, and she spells Jasmine with a Y. And I could see, you know, she can't take a lot of the harshness of some of the radical left who nobody's allowed to have their own opinion. We must conform. Da, da, da. But anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to that young lady. She's got a beautiful mind. And if I had an opportunity to, she was really upset about what a professor had done to her because she's getting a major in political science in college in Washington, D.C. there. And she was born a crack baby, and her mother died. And when she was a little girl, she had to identify the body and all that. And you could tell it really bothered her, but she's overcome a lot, you know? And now she's worried about getting a vaccine. And now I'd like to say something about the vaccine. I'm not getting it. I don't give a damn. If I have to get a vaccine, then you better get me the one that Cuba made, because that's the one I want. That's the safest one on the planet and the most effective. But the one that they're pushing triggers your body to make what's called spike proteins. These spike proteins are the reason why they don't want to release their test data for 50 years. Why don't they want to release their test data for 50 years? Because everybody they screwed up will be dead by then. It doesn't take an Einstein to figure this stuff out. I'm like you. I quit drinking 33 years ago, and I'm not big into drugs. I used to get the flu vaccine, which is basically the same technology they're using for this garbage. And Dr. Christina Parks, testifying 3 months ago in front of Michigan legislation, explains perfectly what happens when you take this type of drug continuously. You're getting vaccinated for a virus that's already mutated and gone. The original virus that they made the vaccine for is gone. It's mutated. So you never quite get the right fit. And eventually the vaccine helps the virus attack your body. Now, that's what the flu vaccine did to me. I know that's what happened because I was sick. I was making $37 an hour. And I didn't go to work for 6 weeks. I was that sick. I went to my doctor's office, and my wife works for my doctor. She put that clip on my finger. She took it off. She put it on the other hand. Then she went and got another machine. And I said, what's wrong? She said, you're dead. You have no oxygen in your blood.
Wow.
But, yeah, literally. And that's all documented. So when it comes to getting a vaccine and what's going on with it, I'm on that like stank on doo-doo. I'm going to be researching. I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be investigating. You can call me a whack job. You can call me whatever you want. But it's documented that I missed work for 6 weeks. I showed up one day at end of January, the last day of January, and then was out for another 2 weeks because I was that sick. I just physically could not move. But fortunately, I've been a scuba diver since I was like 13 years old. And I was in the Army and block mason, and I'm a mechanic by trade. So I stay in good shape. People look at me now at age 61, they look and say, man, you look 40. But anyhow, Senator Ron Johnson just busted Dr. Fauci for 30 minutes in the Senate live on Forbes on YouTube. If you look that up and take a little bit of time, he just rips him up and pulls out numbers, and he goes, this is from the CDC. He talks about ivermectin,
right,
hydroxychloroquine, how the media is lying about all this stuff, about the treatments, and how the vaccine spike cells, like, I was just talking about the spike cells.
I'll check it out for sure.
This vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah. This vaccine tells your body to make spike proteins. That's what's causing the mitochondria in the heart because it's scar tissue.
Right. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah,
but
I gotta go. I know. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
All right, now.
God bless.
Sorry for the loud noise on the ringer. I forgot to turn that off. But you guys on the deal. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. You go ahead and turn it off right now before we get to the call. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's go. All right, caller, who am I speaking to? 737, you're on the line.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yes. Who am I speaking to?
Okay, sorry, I had music playing in the background. Okay. Awesome. So my name's Luciano. You may have probably remember me from a long time ago. I used to be one of your regular callers, but I decided to take a break from the show because I want to take a break from politics in general. Instead, my whole fixation this year was DIY stuff. Not even kidding. My main guilty pleasure right now is tools and hardware and home improvement supplies. But I'll drift away from that right now and talk about what I want to talk about. So I decided to call in tonight because my family is coercing me real hard about getting the vaccine. Let me explain. So originally, we were going to go to Los Angeles in 2020. But when the pandemic hit, everything shut down, and we had to I think they just rescheduled the flight ticket. I think the flight tickets got recovered by the flight company. So they said we can use them in 2021 or 2022, the latest. Okay, we have 2 trips planned, one to New York and one to Japan. That's the only reason they're coercing me real hard. I'm staying by my ground and saying I don't feel comfortable getting this vaccine. It's mandated by the government, not a private institution. At least the flu vaccine, which I will admit I didn't even want to get, but I just got it so that, that it could be on my record and hopefully I don't face any challenges entering other institutions, right? But the COVID vaccine, it's mandated. Why are people taking blind faith on the vaccine? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
So I guess the question here is, what do I do about it? How do I prove them that this vaccine is not really worth, getting your shot at? No pun intended.
Well, you can't really convince people. Like, all you could do is tell what you know. If you have information that just tell them. And if they're not trying to hear it, there's not much you can do, because some people just going to be, they pretty much set in their ways. Oh, I'm going to get it. Is what I got to do. Is what they tell me I got to do. And they don't really care too much about it. So just tell what you know, but don't necessarily be convinced. Don't be down if they don't receive it.
Okay, fair enough. Like, I even gave him this TikTok, right? So if you look up Bill Gates Omicron, he made like a video game, like a simulation, sci-fi simulation video game called Omicron back in 1999. And, it's like this robot, you're fighting a demon inside of you, something like along those lines. I don't know, but like the guy was like, so is this just a not so spooky coincidence, or was this all planned along? The guy does ask that great question. You know what I mean? But even that's not convincing him, because I think they're in denial about it. The people already got the vaccine, they wish they didn't get it in the first place. But I think so many people are in denial. So there's those that will take the responsibility and say, oh, I took blind faith, government. And then there's those that just want you to jump on the bandwagon. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, I really do want to stand in my ground. I don't think getting the vaccine is worth it for 2 damn trips. Sorry for my cussing, but like 2 trips to places that I wanted to go years ago. Why, especially New York, out of all places, I even told them, do you want to go to New York with all the sanitation workers going on strike? That would be gross and nasty.
Exactly.
And then it's not worth your soul. Plane tickets. Like, I want to travel the world, yes, but my urge to travel the world is kind of going away anyways, because social media and the globalization of the world is killing cultural richness around us anyways. Nationalism is taboo, so people in their own countries are not allowed to be serious about and rich about their own cultural identities. You know what I mean?
Right on.
So yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna drop it off right here because I know it's a very fast-paced show tonight. But thank you for the call, and I'm glad to hear again, ABL. I haven't watched you in like a year.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
And if Rip is kind of calling or is in the chat, hey, shout out to Shriv. We're buddies on Discord and in this chat as well.
Right on.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Alrighty, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I actually have something for you since I'm in the lovely state of Illinois. I'm trying to find it here because I have to get the exact name for you. And of course, I wouldn't have it. So there is a House rep that, and this is for anyone who lives in Illinois, it's just a heads up. Jonathan Carroll. So he actually ended up presenting a bill. I believe it was yesterday he filed it. It was just in regards to people that are unvaccinated and they end up in the hospital with COVID-like symptoms. It gives the private insurance now the right to drop these individuals.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah. It is insane. So I was trying to get the email just so that, anyone who is in the lovely state of Illinois to pretty much send an, so lovely, to pretty much send an email, but I cannot. Oh, I got it. ABL. It's J as in Jonathan, C as in Carlos, at rep, REP, Carol, CARROLL.com. So these are just for the individuals that reside in the state of Illinois. If they could just kindly shoot an email, that we oppose of this this ridiculous bill that was introduced.
Absolutely.
And one last thing. Oh, and then there was another thing too. I don't know if you came across it, but Lori Lightfoot actually put out a tweet yesterday. She said that there was the first Omicron, or whatever you call it, the Omicron variant. It was actually just the first case was just found here in Chicago, and the whole purpose of that was, well, thank God this person is vaccinated with the booster. So she encourages everyone to go out and get their vaccination and their boosters.
You know what? And I saw it coming because I'm like, okay, when they have this brand new thing out there, they're going to try to get the booster shot in everybody's arm. They're going to say, oh, well, hey, it's a new thing out there. It's killing everybody. Get your booster. And here we are. Everybody got to get the booster. So, and they probably do it every single year. It'll be a brand new variant. It's so crazy. It's so scary. Get all 3 shots every single year. That'll probably be the method that they go about it.
That's true. And you know what? Like, for all the parents, because I know that you did mention that parent over there, I believe, what was it, in Los Angeles, that the child pretty much got bribed with a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why it's important, for parents to really be involved in their child's pretty much overall life, especially when it comes down to school. So like with my kids, for example, the school was opting every child in when they started back in August to get COVID tested. And the thing was that it was at that time, it was just an automatic once a week. And then parents can go in and pretty much adjust it to like daily testing. But this is why, parents have to be very much involved, because when I brought this up to their attention, I was like, well, who are you to opt in children anyway? Like, this should be an option that should be offered, and then the parents have the right to, then, the decision to opt in. But I tell my children all the time, like, and I have it ranging. I have a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And I tell them all the time, you guys, if they come and present you a cup where you have to spit or whatever, you say no. And then that too, I've told my kids, especially in these times, ABL, all parents have to tell their kids, and it's not to instill fear in them, but this is because they have to be aware too. If anyone is trying to, put anything in your body, pill-wise, shot-wise, anything, that is when you say no. And whether the kid has a phone or not, contact you, or you have to go to an adult, like the principal or wherever, run to the office. I've even told my kids, these guys got to run out and call me, call 911, whatever the case is. But like this, this is why it's so, important, highly important I cannot stress it enough. White parents have to be 100% involved in schools and in school board meetings as well. Like, do not be scared.
Absolutely, 100% correct.
Yeah, ABL, that's all we wanted to call in and say. And the two younger ones are asleep because they had a long day, but the older one, she is a dedicated little patriot to watch you. So she's here.
Well, you guys are great. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're happy that you like the candle and the wax melts.
Oh, yeah, they're great. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm put it on the screen right quick. Give me 1 second.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. It was like I told the kids, I was like, everybody has to write, either you sign your name, and of course the older one, she's more like, no, I want to write a little message here. So she's like, I have to write a message, and she just wrote you something. But I'm happy you guys loved it.
Yeah, definitely a good. Smells great. Love it. Very good. So thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, ABL.
All right, now y'all take care.
Have a good night. Take care. God bless you.
All right, so yeah, this candle, they had their candle, they sent me because I got a P.O. box at my out here where I live. It's on my website, of course, AnthonyLogan.com. Check it out. Anthony B as in boy, Logan.com. Go to the contact page. My P.O. box is right there. In Hickson, Tennessee, that's the location. But this says Candle Life Company, handcrafted in Illinois. So the wick it's like different wicks right there. So yeah, this right here, and I got pretty big hands. I'm a pretty big guy, so it's lit. I get a lot of stuff from you. I get books, I get shirts, I get everything from you guys. I get letters, handwritten letters all the time. So shout out to y'all for that. I've gotten like lapel pins, everything. 626 you're on the line. Who must 626 kind of 780 you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, you're talking to Santa.
Okay, I'm talking to Santa. What's going on?
Oh, I'm calling from the North Pole.
All right, okay. So we got good reception in the North Pole. That's good. Got a 5G tower up there. That's good to hear. So what's happening, Santa? You getting ready for the
I'm watching your podcast tonight.
Okay.
And it does not seem like you believe in me too much.
I'm too old, I think that I'm not a kid anymore, so nah.
Yeah, but I am not about age. I'm about hope and love and belief.
Oh, okay. Is that right?
Yes, that's the whole spirit of Christmas. It's not to believe in Santa. Santa is not white, not black. He's a belief in hope. In unity.
Oh, okay. Very, very good. Very interesting. So how you feel about when people have all these arguments about what race he is and all kind of stuff like that? What do you say to those people?
What I say to those people is I am who you believe I am. I could be white for white people, black for black people. I'm Jewish, I'm Muslim. I am everybody. It's all about peace, about getting along.
It sounds good to me. I mean, if we had more of that in the world, we have a whole lot more peace, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would. And that is all about what Santa is about. Santa is not a white idea. The media, everyone pushes this white Santa on everybody. But Santa is about love.
Well, right on. So I thank you for calling in, saying I know you're busy. You got stuff to do and whatnot.
Yes, I have a lot of toys to make for every child in the world.
That's
and
right.
I just want to call in and say thank you for what you do. But to let people know that Santa is not just a white dude. Santa is love. He loves everybody. Santa is the spirit and the hope inside of everybody during this holiday season.
Thank you for the call, Santa Claus. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thank you for what you do, Anthony. And that toy fire truck you wanted when you were 9 years old? My elves forgot to give it to you. Put it under your tree.
There you go. Appreciate that.
God bless you.
All right. So yeah, shout out to the OG Santa Claus. You know, I'm finally getting my fire truck from back in the day. Yeah, put it under my tree. It'll be lit. Now you're gonna have to come in here. You're gonna have to be quiet as a church mouse, because if I see somebody in a big red suit in my crib, that might not go well. But just do it right and you'll be all right. Okay. So shout out to Santa. Let's get to some more calls. Let's go. All right. 989, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 989, hello. Going once, going twice. So if you're calling in for the first time, please have your ear to the phone. Be ready to speak, because if you're trying to watch the stream, it's just not going to work. There is a delay between the stream and the call. So please have your ear to the phone. And when you answer the phone, turn the stream off in the background, because there'll be background noise and it'll interfere with the call. So let's go to some more here. Let's go. All right, hold on. I had one. I'll wait for that call to come back in a minute. There we go. (626) you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, wow. You got a hold of ABL.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You are an inspiration to me.
All right,
And,
hold on 1
one
second. Turn the stream off in the background for me, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
I heard you well. So go ahead.
Yes, ABL. Man, I'm so glad to get a hold of you. And let me just tell you one thing. You are a conservative minority. You're an inspiration to my friends. I grew up in the hood. And for you to be an individual that what you're doing and how you speak the truth, and that is so powerful. Your platform is really very powerful. But I'm just going to get to the point really quick. I've been a Trump supporter. I voted for him in 2016. I was so surprised how he won the election. And we've seen the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years among minorities, real, as capital cities. He's done a lot for our country. But let me ask you for your opinion. It kind of disappointed me his last year in his campaign, meaning that he went into Operation Warp Speed and he drove out the vaccine and funneled a lot of money into pharmaceutical companies, which is, I don't know if he got advice from his advisors to do this, but I think where he went wrong is that he allowed the country to get shut down. And I think that's when the Constitution went down the drain. And we're in this position because of the vaccine. Now you're seeing it mandated. And a lot of these people are losing their jobs because of it. And they don't want to take the vaccine. And I just think that's where I got disappointed with Donald Trump. And I do believe he's a better choice than Biden, because I did vote for him again.
So here's a question, though.
And,
hold on. Here's a question I have for you. So what should Trump have done rather than what he did? If you were in his shoes at that time with all this stuff going on and nobody knew what was happening and everybody was freaking out, what would you have done?
Well, I think the studies show that you cannot cure a flu or a common cold, like you said in one of your videos. What he should have done was just restrict businesses and allow them to continue to conduct their business. But
hold on. But okay, when you say restrict, what do you mean restrict?
Basically the same thing that they did for bigger corporations like Walmart, Home Depot. They should at least, allow the smaller businesses to conduct their business.
But you said
understand.
well, wait though. You said restrict though. So I'm not clear
Well,
what you mean.
that just means that they only allow a certain amount of people to come into the store at any a certain capacity. Everybody has to wear a mask, and I don't understand why all these larger companies were able to stay open, because they're so-called essential. And now it's basically, you destroyed a lot of these smaller businesses, and now it's where we're at now. And I live in California, and I just hope we don't have another lockdown because of this new variant. And I mean, that's the one thing I think Trump made a mistake, was that he let the economy shut down. That's basically your constitution rights out the window. And the vaccine that he pushed, this is why now everything's being mandated. And
but wait a minute. I gotta push back a little bit, because a lot of what's going on is because of the individual states doing what they want to do. Like, prime example.
You're right.
California is night and day different. Yeah, California is night and day different than Texas is. And where I live in Tennessee, it was a brief little hiccup, but
right. Yeah, I agree.
We've been back since last. Like, it wasn't really a big deal here. So a lot of that is just the individual states doing whatever they were going to do, aside from what Trump was going to do. Because as we all know, Trump throughout the entire presidency kept getting hit at every angle. And states were trying to.
That's right.
So that was kind of beyond his control, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. Because each governor of the state has to implement what they want to do to the state. And yeah, that is true. I just think that was the wrong approach, though, to suggest they have a shutdown for each state. And that's what disappointed me. And I mean, I always supported Trump, and I'm a constitutionalist, and I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican, Democrat, and I believe in the Constitution. But living here in California and seeing how Governor Newsom got out of control with power, everybody forgot that we are the sovereign being. We appoint the government; they work for us, and it just shows an example of how easily the citizens are able to be taken under control and not be aware of their rights. This is just an example. And now the vaccine. For me personally, I will never take the vaccine. I know about my rights. I have my pastor at my local church. We have an exempt vaccination form that we can fill out. My friend's wife works for Kaiser Permanente, one of the biggest insurance companies, medical companies in the industry. She got exempt from the vaccine just because she knew about her rights. And she wrote a letter to her boss, and then she had provided the form. And it just says, just goes to show some people could avoid getting vaccinated if they know and they do their research.
Right.
Getting exempt for it.
Right on, man. But
I couldn't believe it. They only test her every 2 weeks, and they have to pay for it as a company.
It's crazy how that works, man. But California is just a whole different place, man. I suggest
it is,
getting out,
it
because
says in Corinthians that your body is your temple. You cannot even get it inked or basically get no tattoos or no drugs in your body.
Got you. But thank you for the call.
I'm so glad that I got to talk to you, man, because I get to listen to your videos every day while I'm sitting down eating lunch. But basically, I'll go in the break room.
Hold on, caller, listen. I got more calls online. Thank you for the call, though, man. Definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night. God bless you.
All right, now.
Thank you.
All right, shout out to the caller. Good call. Let's go. 201, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh my goodness, hold on. This is Sarah calling.
All righty.
I'm surprised I actually got through.
Yeah, yes, indeed. So what's happening? What's going on?
I actually just wanted to call to say thank you for everything that you do with your show. You put a lot of effort and content into your material. When you host, when you're at the hotel, you could hear the things in the background and things of that nature. But then when you host on your show live, you could tell that your audio is clear, your video is perfect. So you do an excellent job. As far as with this virus and Trump and everything, I'm just tired of it. And you're like the only thing you can really watch that isn't, forcing the agenda down your throat on TV. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. Got to do it. Somebody got to do it.
Exactly. It's nice to hear your voice. I'll try to call back in. I can't really do both look and watch what you're saying because there is a delay.
Yeah.
So thank you again. And I'm going to get back to watching your show. Have a nice night.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, there's a delay. So, and sometimes when people call in for the first time, it's kind of confusing. It's like, I can't just... It's like, no. But thank y'all for being here. We got quite a few more calls on the line. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can, so y'all just hang tight. Please and thank you. Let's go to 917. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My man, finally. You've been holding me up here. I've been calling 20 times. How are you? How's it going?
It's all good. About yourself?
Good. I need a little freaking venting. I live in New York and grew up in an Italian neighborhood. Everything not too political over here. And Staten Island is the only red part of New York. Everything's blue. And I work every day. I'm in like a different spot in New York. From Williamsburg with the yuppies or whatever the hell they're called, to the hoods, to rich neighborhoods, everywhere. And everybody's so weird out there today. Like, people are in their cars wearing masks. Then, like, I just walk into every store. I don't wear a mask anywhere. Nobody's telling me to put on a mask. And people, like, I just see the people looking at me. And it's like, is this going to be forever? Like, can we get back to normal?
You know what? I guess it depends on where you are, because where I live, it's pretty much normal. You may see a couple of masks here and there, but we're pretty much, everything's pretty much back to normal. It's not really a problem. But certain parts of the country, they're so scared, and the kind of people that's out there, the kind of people that the person that may go to New York from somewhere else, they are kind of weird, and they all kind of clump together. So you see a bunch of weirdness just happening. So I guess it depends upon where you live and who's flocking there. But where I live, we don't really have that kind of issue.
Yeah, and another thing, they all claim to be like these peaceful people, and these young kids don't respect like adults. I'm only 29, but I see kids like a 16-year-old kid, like disrespecting us like a 60-year-old man or something. Like, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, I grew up in the wrong generation. It's wacky over here, and I really want to. If I didn't have like a good job and I had my whole family over here, I would get out of here. But I don't know. It's like I'm stuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, it might be a goal for your future. If you're able to go ahead and go somewhere else, that might be the best option, because you know that it's weird. People are weird. I say go ahead and leave if you can. But for now, just know that it's not you. You're not the problem. They're the problem.
Yeah, I guess I appreciate that. That's good. That's good advice. I went to Florida for 1 week to visit my friend that moved out there, and like near Naples. I forget what exactly, Fort Lauderdale over there. I forget the exact name, but anyway, I thought when I was down there, I was like 1,000% forget my family and everybody. I am moving to Florida. It is beautiful here. Every day it's nice. The people are just nice people. Everybody's willing to help, this, that. I got like 15 job offers while I was there. Just everybody was so nice. But I don't know. I guess I still have some hope for the good people in this country. I just think that we stay quiet, and that's the best thing to. Sometimes you got to fight back, obviously, but we don't complain and moan as much as the rest, and they're the ones doing the bad.
Right.
But anyway, I really wanted to call and just say like hello and real smart man. Like and I appreciate smart people speaking out. When you're talking about like people writing you and everything, I can tell you're genuine and like you read the letters, and I'm happy that everybody shows you love and everything, because you deserve it. You speak the truth, and not too many people like to do that anymore.
But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take it easy. Man.
All righty. Shout out to him. He may have been on speakerphone. That's probably why he was a little bit muffled. I wasn't thinking to ask him until later on in the call. So if you guys are calling in, please do not be on speaker, because it's going to be kind of hard to hear you. But I was able to understand what he was saying. A lot of New Yorkers, you know, you go into Florida for a minute. I mean, really, if you go to Florida, it'll probably be everybody from your neighborhood that went down to Florida. Because, I mean, people are leaving New York and California, especially San Fran and LA. They're leaving. It's not just you. People, sometimes you might be in a place, it's just not working out, and you got to go. That happens, and it's fine. It's okay. It's not like you lost or you were defeated. If you got to go, you just got to go. You know, find greener pastures. That's how the whole thing goes. 912, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? This is Joel Davis Media Network. What's up, brother?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
No, man, I just listened to your show tonight and wanted to speak on some of the subjects that you were talking about the, especially the Jussie, I call him Juicy Smollett case. Man, you know, I was not surprised the bit about him and the African guys were more than just buddies, because, you know, for them to be able to be so, you know, to be so close like they were, you know, met on the set and then, you know, came up with this scheme to do what they do. I knew he had to be involved with one of those brothers intimately. It didn't make sense if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really surprising, but it was like, you know, I ain't even know all that though. I ain't even know all the nitty gritty details of the whole.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I mean? You could have kept that part. You could have just said we had an instrument encounter. But I guess if you're in court, you got to say that. I suppose. Oh, hit the phone hung up. I didn't hang up on him. That you saw my hands; they were right here. So I don't know what happened. But shout out to my man from what's that? I forget the network. Oh, my man Joe Davis Media Network. Let me see if he can get back on. 912, you there? Hello?
Hey, I'm back, man. We got disconnected, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm back. But yeah, we didn't need to know all that. I mean, it was just horrendous the way he was acting towards the prosecutor, and I think that's still the state anyway, because you can't tell a prosecutor what they can't say if it's something that you said already. I mean, he was talking about racial slurs, and I'm like, but you wrote that.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, why be offended at him reading what you wrote?
Yeah, exactly. You wrote it. So why would you get upset? I just really think that this just shows us how desperate he really was. I mean, I think that the reason why he did this whole thing was because his career was on the ropes. He knew that he was going to be written out of a show that was making a lot of money, because he was getting paid $100,000 an episode. And I just feel like that he just didn't know how to handle the process of being out of a job for a while.
Right, exactly.
And so that's what I think on that end. Now, I think the other subject you was talking about when it comes to the whole man, there was something else we were talking about. I don't know if you talked about it tonight, the Dante Wright trial. I don't know if you heard about the young lady that was traumatized finally spoke up about what he did to her, robbing her. And I just think that it's weird that all of a sudden nobody's not really talking about the case. You don't see BLM or any of the activists now not really talking about that case ever since that guy got arrested.
Now, I'm not really familiar with what's going on. Dante Wright, who was that again?
That's the gentleman that got shot in Minneapolis when the cop accidentally shot him over the summer of love of all that craziness that was going on.
Okay. And then what was the revelation?
They're having her trial this week.
Okay.
The young lady, she that was a victim. She finally came forward and did an interview with Fox News. It was this afternoon they finally posted it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him now. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm seeing him.
Yeah, she didn't reveal her name, but she showed her face. So I don't know. That defeats the purpose. If I'm not gonna reveal my name, why would I show my face?
Exactly. It's like I see you still. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can tell that she's part of that woke culture, but yeah, man. But you know, all the things that you're saying. I mean, I really feel like at this point of the game, ABL, people waking up. I mean, they just is. I mean, people are starting to see the hustle, and I just feel like the liberal movement is dying as fast as it came alive.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so either way it goes, I just wanted to chime in a little bit. I know you got other people. Can't wait to rock you have y'all on the show Friday. And like I said, man, keep doing your thing, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, man.
So yeah, I'll be on this channel on the Joel Davis Media Network. I'll be on this channel this Friday. That's going to be December the 10th. The exact time I don't have right now, but I'll post that on my community tab so you guys can know when I'm on there. It'll be a lot of us. I think Brandon Tatum going to be on. I think Jericho, a lot of guys are going to be on. It's going to be coming up Friday. And then Thursday, I'll be streaming with Brandon Tatum on his channel. So you guys will see me live stream today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going hard. Also, so yeah, I remember now the whole Taser versus Glock thing. The lady officer pulled out the pistol and killed him rather than the Taser. That's bad policing. But I don't remember all the details of the case. I got to kind of go back and look at that. But if that's what happened, I thought it was a Taser, but it was really a pistol. That's bad. So let's get to some more here. Let's go. I already called it 773. You know line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's your Chicago police officer friend.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Yeah, let's get this straight about Santa Claus. Santa is a cis male, and all the boys and girls on the naughty and nice list are non-binary and should be considered they and them from now on.
Okay, I see.
All right. I wanted to know if you saw in the news, ABL, where our mayor, Lori Lightfoot, actually blamed the stores on Michigan Avenue for the looting and the crime.
The stars, like the actual stars on the ground?
The stores, the actual stores, all the businesses. She blamed the business
Oh, the stores.
owners.
Wow.
And here's what she said. I don't want to misquote her. I have it up right here. You could see the video of it. But at a crime summit at the University of Illinois in Chicago on Monday, Lori Lightfoot said, and I quote, "Some of the retailers downtown on Michigan Avenue, I will tell you, I'm disappointed that they are not doing more to take safety and make it a priority. For example, we still have retailers that won't institute plans like having security officers in their stores." I'll continue. Making sure that they've got cameras that are actually operational, locking up their merchandise at night, chaining high-end bags. These purses seem to be something that is attracting a lot of organized retail theft units. She actually is blaming the businesses for all the thefts. Can you believe that?
That's 100% crazy, but I'm not really surprised because, I mean, why take responsibility when you could just shift the blame to someone else?
Right, and she's now, she canceled all our days off because in Millennium Park, which is where downtown Chicago, it's the main park downtown. It's the one that has that bean. It's also the one where we have the large Christmas tree. Well, there's been riots down there for whatever reason. There's been shootings and riots and all kinds of mayhem. And their response is just cancel their days off instead of locking these people up. I mean, you're going to blame the businesses. You're going to blame. I mean, it's ridiculous is what's happening here, not only in Chicago but all around the country. I'll let you speak on that, ABL. Always a pleasure, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, but I'm not really surprised. We're talking about Lori Lightfoot here. Didn't Lori Lightfoot break up a church service because they weren't socially distanced on the inside? Like, brought the police down there to break it up. I mean, this is what they do. Always pointing the finger somewhere else. Okay? Like, you gotta, the businesses are not much different than just regular people. Your job is to make sure you have a safe city. I mean, if it's going to be up to us to protect ourselves, then why pay you tax money at all for the police force? We're paying you tax money. We want you to spend that money appropriately on law enforcement, give them what they need, empower them to assist in protecting us. And then when somebody does get locked up, you got to prosecute them. Kim Fox and all these people got to be on task. If you're letting these guys that go and rob, loot, steal, kill, you let them get slaps on the wrist, revolving door justice, then it's like, what's the point of having a security? It's just like what's happening right now in San Francisco, California, with the retail theft. When they come out and say we're not going to prosecute anything below $1,000 in value, and you have organized crime take advantage of that whole law and say, okay, if you want to prosecute below $1,000, we'll still $949, $950, and you're not going to prosecute. You got a security guard there, but what are they going to do? What can they do if there ain't no prosecution? If they try and stop the robber or the looter, they might get in trouble for violating the civil rights of the person that was stealing. You got to do your job as a mayor, as leader of the city, period. And I saw one comment I wanted to get to, but I'm going to try to get to some more calls here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go. 562, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, Bald Brad, how you doing?
It's all good. About yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Just heading to work, which is going to sound odd because I am a high school teacher. I've talked to you before. I just talked to you the other week about the state of California, Prop 47, the retail theft, just the gas prices, all the craziness. Hey, so I saw on there, I'm actually not up to speed on it, what's going on with LAUSD and the bribery with, was it the vaccination?
Yeah. Now,
so what were they doing? Bribing them with pizza? Is that, I didn't read the whole thing.
Okay.
But
so basically what happened was a mother went to the news out there, local news, and she was talking about how her son, 13 years old, got the vax without her permission. And she said that her son told her they offered him some pizza to get the vax, and he was like, yeah, I'll do that. Sure. And then the person that gave him the vax said, hey, don't tell your mom. I might get in trouble for this. This might be a problem. So don't tell your mom. You got the vax, you got the pizza, that's it. But the mom found out when she found the vax card.
Wow. And okay. So this doesn't actually surprise me. And like I said, I'm a high school teacher. I'm not going to tell you where I teach at in Southern California, but I have taught in Los Angeles, and I can only equate it to what's going on with the transgender stuff. Is teachers aren't allowed to know some things, and parents aren't allowed to know some things. I don't know if that's even right as far as the law and stuff goes, but I'll give you an example of why that doesn't surprise me, that they would be bribing and doing things behind parents' backs as far as what I've seen in trainings and things of that nature. So prime example, say a kid is transgender. You're looking at the attendance and you're saying, David, 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 where's David? Is David not here? You know, nobody's looking at you. Nobody's paying attention. And then come to find out, well, that person actually identifies as Jessica or some sort of he, she, him, her, these, her, elemental PQRS pronoun. Well, you can actually be fired for mispronoun or misgendering that person, even though you weren't aware of that and they were in your class. And it goes even further than that well, some of them will wear bracelets that will identify their gender for that day and that time. Meaning they could literally go to the bathroom, change the bracelet out, come back from the bathroom into your class, and want to be called a different pronoun.
So in the same day, right? In the same day, in the same class, they may come in as one gender, go to the bathroom, come back to the same class on the same day, and be a different gender, and you must address them as that. If you address them as the first thing they came into the class with that day, then you may be in trouble.
You're exactly right. Exactly right. And that was a problem that I saw because it wasn't just me, the only, staff, it was the other teachers as well, where we said, well, how is it we're supposed to know what they want to be called if they don't tell us? Because the whole discussion was with the psychologist of the school, and we couldn't understand if they're not required to tell us their pronouns, then how are we supposed to address them? Because I'm just trying to do my job. I teach mathematics. I'm not there to create problems, you know what I mean? Heck, I just want to teach the math, do my job, treat all my students, like I love them and stuff like that, and, go home at the end of the day. I don't want to be sitting there trying to figure out 1,000 different names for somebody when it's like, look, just let me know what you want to be called. I'll call you whatever, and let me go home. But that's what we're seeing. And now the conversation shifted. Well, can't we just ask the parents? And this is what we were told, is that, no, you can't have that discussion with the parents because the student might have not ever notified the parent that they're transgender, because we wanted their name changed in the grade book. There's a system that pretty much everybody uses across California. It's called ARIES. And it's a way for us to find emergency contact, input their grades, find out more information about the student. And if it's not changed in there, then there's no way of us knowing what their nickname would be. My name is Bradley legally, but I go by Brad. So I could change that in ARIES to show and reflect, hey, I want to be called by my nickname Brad. But that's why the pizza thing, when I kind of read a headline of that doesn't surprise me that something like that would happen, because this stuff's happening all the time. And I don't think people actually realize it unless you're actually in that field as a teacher.
Wow. I had no idea that it was that bad, to where you would see something like that and not even be shocked, not even be surprised. It's kind of like par for course. That's crazy.
It sucks because it's your job, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a little bit into kind of Jordan Peterson's idea of, look, I'll call you whatever you want, but the fact that if you're trying to basically implement me having to say that, then there's kind of a problem, because now you're policing my speech. And it's not, I'll call you whatever you want. I just don't like the fact that you don't have to notify me and then say you don't like me as a teacher, or you find out I'm a Republican or conservative, and all of a sudden now you're just switching and doing whatever you want, even though you might not be really that. You're just out to target me, and now I could possibly, it's not a for sure, lose my job, be written up, have a whole hubbub over something, when it's like, look, man, I'm just coming in to do my job, and it's creating issues. So that dives into deeper things, even with CRT and other stuff, where they're saying they're not teaching it. I'll tell you right now, I see them teaching it and hearing it. There's no class called CRT. But
yeah, of course
they'll
not.
sit there and they'll sit there and interject their kind of their bias, which we're trained as teachers not to do. But again, I teach mathematics, and I have a good relationship with all my students. They'll sit there and tell me what they're learning. And some of them are, conservatives, Republicans, they're part of the club on campus. And so they kind of spill the beans on stuff. But it's just funny when I hear somebody say, oh, they're not teaching it. It's like, no, they're not teaching a class. But, man, they're definitely teaching this stuff. Socialism's good. Communism's all right. Capitalism's bad. That's twisted. But, anywho, I just wanted to see your thoughts on the whole. What did you think of the vaccination thing, LAUSD?
Totally crazy. And really, it sounds illegal. That's the main thing that kind of sticks out to me, that it sounds illegal, and I hope somebody goes to jail over it. But knowing how California is, it's kind of unlikely unless the federales get involved, and we know what they're focused on. They're worried about, grandmas going to the January 6th rally and that actual crime. So we'll see how that whole thing goes.
I love the way you put that. I can't believe that January 6th thing's still going on. I'm not saying it should have ever happened. All I'm saying, I just can't believe, like you said, that's the main narrative, that's the main story that everyone's pushing, and not these things that actually affect our children and other people across the country. And I mean, sadly, I'd have to probably agree with you on the aspect of somebody probably won't go to jail when they should. But I think it's important, if there's any parents listening, you need to be active in your school. As much as you don't want to come home and deal with school stuff, PTA or whatever, I mean, that's how people are going to be held accountable and know what's going on inside your son or daughter's classroom. You have to know. Ask them what their teacher said, ask them what they're learning, read their textbooks. And what I've seen is parents aren't doing that. So
right. That's
just my advice for parents. Know what's going on and take initiative and go down there and protest if you need to.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, bro. Take care. God bless.
All right. Great call. Now, on a whole concept of, the whole gender thing, here's a classic. This is my only TikTok video that I've ever done. It's on Instagram right now. But here's an example of how that whole thing would go as far as the gender and what are you and all this and that and the third. Okay, here it is.
What are you?
Wait. Let me get the. Is it not going to show? Hold on. There we go.
I can call you a sir or ma'am. What are you? What would you assume looking at me? What are you? What would you assume looking at me? I assume that you're a man. Okay?
I mean, this right here. Hold on. One more time for the road, because this was crazy.
What are you? So I can call you a sir or ma'am. What are you? What would you assume looking at me? What are you? What would you assume looking at me? I assume that you're a man.
Now, if a person looks like that, your jaw is a straight Lego block. You understand? This thing is, you're Jay Leno right now. If you come into a classroom looking like that, what should you be called? Huh? Like, you might get on like this little, I guess, feminine clothing. I'm not really sure. A girl hoodie. But sir, come on, man. Like, no, nothing against you, but I see what I see. And if you guys can't see this, if you listen to the audio only, the person pulled up. This is an old clip that I had. The person pulled up to the Sonic, right? And they had a little bit of a scuffle not scuffle, but a little bit of a tiff with one of the people there because they called them sir when they were taking their money or whatever, taking their card. And here comes the manager, and the person inside the car who is trying to pass himself off as a young lady is arguing with the manager, saying, you should just pretty much know what I am because it's obvious. But the manager's like, nah, you look like a man. And he didn't want to have to say it. He was asking the person, hey, what do I call you? What can I call you? And they were refusing to answer. This whole thing is madness. Personally, I ain't trying to play your game, really. If I'm asking you, what can I call you? I'm trying to be respectful, right? I don't want to have to go through all this rigmarole with you. What do I call you? And we'll keep on going. If you ask me, I'll say, sir. That's what I see. I see a whole big, giant Lego block, Jay Leno, Wesley Snipes. If he dies, Ivan Drago jaw. That's what I see. But I'll move on. I digress. All right, let's go to, hold on. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello, ABL. It's Sonia. How you doing?
Oh, it's all good. What's happening?
I'm delayed. I think the last person I heard was a teacher in California.
Yeah, you're pretty much right on it.
Okay, what a dangerous game they are playing, because it seems like these kids are going to be wearing their gender like a mood ring. How frightening is that? And then when he said that they couldn't access them or find them in the database because they go by different names, I don't understand why they're keeping things from the parents, because, which is the other thing he said, like they can't talk to the parents about it. Then what is going on at the parent-teacher conferences? What are they talking about? Or did they eliminate those because they're rooted in white supremacy?
Yeah, exactly. That might be what they're trying to do. Oh, this is racist, white supremacist. You can't talk to the teachers. That's rooted in, yeah, that might be what they're trying to do.
Yeah, because it's like the kid is living a double life at school.
Correct. Yeah, you can't tell your mom certain things, and you can't talk to the parents, and it's crazy. It's, you know, they're obviously trying to indoctrinate kids. It's clear.
And then the thing about the keeping the vaccine, the nurse or whoever is saying, don't tell because I might get in trouble, then you know you're doing something wrong to begin with. Because how can you keep that hidden if you can't go to school without it, supposedly, and you need boosters forever?
Right, exactly.
How will they keep up with that if they're not even talking about it? And the parent might think, you know, I can't even send my school because they're not vaccinated, but they are. Oh, my God, that's nuts. Anyway, you know, when I heard about the Jussie Smollett trial, I wanted to rewatch his ridiculous interview with Robin Roberts. And let me tell you, her face said it all. She just couldn't, you know, admit to it. She had to pretend that everything he was saying made sense. And I think a child can pick apart that story. But once I heard that there was a video of them reenacting the hoax, I'm thinking, case closed.
Right.
It's over. I mean, what more can they say? And then they have the BLM people came out, so I was calling them social Jussie warriors.
Hilarious.
Nice to know that their priorities are in order. They don't come out to speak about stuff that really matters, but they come out to talk about this. Same thing with celebrities. I don't know if you heard that Madonna was a little upset because of censorship on Instagram.
Yeah, but like, she was like getting naked or something?
Yeah, that's what she was upset about. Not free speech or truth-telling or anything to do with the vaccine and the mandates and all the craziness that's going on.
Right. Yeah. You know, she can go in and keep her stuff, her senior citizen stuff to herself, but the actual censorship of ideas is the actual problem there.
Yeah, and she looks totally different too. Not that anybody cares, but it's funny because she was at that march, remember, saying she wanted to blow up the White House, and it looks like she blew up her body parts. And then I'll leave you with this because I am outraged, you know, and I don't even have a daughter, but I am still outraged because I'm a woman. Did you hear about the Penn State swimmer who just won it for his school, the championship?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. The transgender.
I mean, if that boy isn't built like Superman, I don't know who is. And he looks the same with the long hair.
He does. You got Clark Kent. You got Clark Kent in there swimming like, you know.
Exactly. The chiseled face and all, and then the wide arms, and then I think it was said that as long as they don't take testosterone for a year, it's all good. But that doesn't explain his wingspan and everything else, his lungs, the fact that he doesn't have a bosom. It just doesn't make any sense. And all I'm thinking is, what would happen if the girls quit?
Right.
Because they can't ban them from competing, but they don't. I mean, the girls are not forced to compete with them, and something has to give because this is just. It's beyond. I mean, every sport so far, right? We had the martial arts, the swimmer now, the cyclists, the runners, the Olympics. When does this end?
I feel like it'll come to an end when everyone kind of comes to an agreement. And I say everyone, I mean left and right. It can't be this thing where the left are like, yeah, it's cool. They got to say this is bad too and kind of join us in the fight. Because if they say it's okay and they say it's all right, and they continue because they're the ones that are propping it up.
And then the thing is, I think that the Title IX, I'm not too sure, I'm going off memory, this whole thing started, I mean, they put that in place so that women could have a fair shake, right? But now that's what they call the protections for these people, and the Chicago schools, I think it's nationwide, or statewide, I mean, put out a PSA referencing that Title IX, that they're making all their bathrooms gender neutral. In Chicago.
Oh, wow. Well, that's, you know, you're going to see the same issues with, like they had in Virginia with some of the assaults and stuff like that.
And then one more thing, and then I'll go. Hillary's crying in these, I don't know when she was reciting the speech she never got to give when she lost the election, but I seen it coming up on my radar, and I thought she mentioned about the possibility when she was going to be the first woman president. And in light of what I just mentioned with the swimmer and all this transgender stuff, how could she even think that there is such a thing? All Biden or anybody has to do is identify as a woman, and they'll be the first woman president.
Exactly. I mean, that's
all it takes.
That's all it takes.
I hope she's not running again. Do you think that's possible?
No, because the last time she ran, she was looking worse than Joe Biden, really. They were dragging her through, literally dragging her through the campaign trail. So, nah, she wouldn't be able to make it.
All right. Well, maybe that'll help me sleep better tonight. All right, I'll let you go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And if any homeschooling moms are out there, please follow me, Sonia Scrapbook on YouTube. Ciao.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All right. So shout out to Sonia. You guys follow her, Sonia Scrapbook. Shout out to all the homeschool moms out there. So if you guys didn't quite know what I was doing when I put up the dude's picture, this is the swimmer. Hold on. So let me get the pictures properly set up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. So here is like a before and after, right? Let's do it this way. So that is the trans swimmer from Penn. I think that's Penn State or UPenn. I'm not really sure. Probably UPenn. So that's the person, right? The trans swimmer that's breaking all the records. You see, you got this gigantic the neck. You looking like Michael Phelps right now, sir, with a long hairdo. Okay, and a smile. That's it. You probably sound like what's the name? What's a man's name? The other one, the very popular guy, Bruce Jenner. You sound like Bruce Jenner, probably. Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm the best woman in Penn State's history. I'm breaking all the records. That's how you sound. But that's a person right now, and that's them like probably like yesterday. I mean, come on, stop, Connor, Hunter, Grayson. That's you. That's how you look right now. You're probably about 6'4", 200 pounds. This is unfair. Unfair. Period. Nobody can say there's no woman that's built like this anywhere on the planet Earth. Or it has a physical, because biology is in his favor, clearly. Clearly. That's Clark Kent right there. Sir, come on, man. Stop. Please stop. But I'll move on. I'll digress. All right, Skype caller, can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Sorry, why don't you just mute you quickly? Sorry.
All righty.
Oh, hi, ABL. Stanley from London. How's it going?
It's all good. About yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for taking my call again, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the LAUSD bribing students of the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because something similar happened in my family. Not the same sort of thing, but sort of similar. As my niece, like she started secondary school this year. She's 12 years old. And obviously my sister told me quite a while back that obviously she'd come home from school one day and she was like, there's people around the school talking to us about the vaccine and why we should get it and stuff like that. And obviously I told my sister, like, well, okay, then. So, I mean, she's not going to get it, right? I mean, she's like, oh, no, of course she's not going to get it. But I was like, well, are you at least going to go up to the school and show your face and try to speak to these people, who they are, like you can't really do that without parents' permission. I mean, I think that's disgraceful.
It really is. And it's quite dangerous because if you can do that without having the parents' permission, what else can you do? What else can you do as far as any kind of invasive procedure or something like that the kid may want? See, it's a slippery slope. When you do something that's wrong, you may do something wrong again. So yeah, that's not a good thing at all.
Exactly. I mean, it's just it goes against everything. It goes against, if we're talking about the vaccine and kids and the immune system and all this stuff, the viruses, it goes against science. I mean, why? From what I know, why do kids, why do teenagers, why do young healthy adults really need to get vaccinated from a virus that doesn't have a high kill rate? I mean, let's be honest, it just doesn't, right?
It doesn't, especially among young people. But I know what it does do as far as the vax among young people. You may have a risk of myocarditis. I think the risk of myocarditis is worse than the risk of catching the bug and having a serious reaction if you're unvaxxed. So basically, to rephrase, just to make sure I'm clear, I think there's a higher chance of a young person, a young male, especially under 18, catching myocarditis from the vax than it is to catch the virus while unvaxxed.
Wow. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what frustrates me is, again, with education is they should be teaching kids. If they do, again, in the day, their job, they get paid to teach kids the curriculum, English, math, science, all the other stuff. I don't necessarily think it's their job to teach them about, medicine and stuff like that, and about the health. I think that falls into responsibility of the parents. And I think the schools maybe should teach them and maybe promote more nutrition with the kids, eating healthy, exercising. Because at the end of the day, I mean, they're young, so their immune systems are going to be, great anyway. But I think rather than promoting them this vaccine and stuff like that, promote them actually diet, nutrition and exercise, and that will boost their immune system even more. So if they do catch the virus, it's going to, they're going to be even less symptomatic, right, to spread the virus. I mean, doesn't that make even more sense, though? Or am I just...
I mean, it's making sense to me. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, again, yeah. So obviously, when I spoke to my sister about it, and I was like, you need to at least go down there and show your presence, personally, just from, I mean, I don't have kids, but just think if I did and that happens, I'd be down there the next day, I mean? I believe as parents, you do have to show your presence in these schools, making sure that, if you do anything that goes against what I want, we'll be down here, you know what I mean? But again, the parents are not even doing that. They're just like, well, no, she won't get in. It's like, well, yeah, I guess maybe as long as she says no, to the school, but you just never know. Is this story that you said? I mean, they're bribing kids, and some kids are gullible and they just fall for these things. You know what I mean? So I think it's as you said, a slippery slope, man. And I think you've got to be prepared for these things.
That's right.
But yeah, sorry, don't want to take too much of your time, maybe. But thanks again for taking my call, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, man. See ya. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. So I found some more about the UPenn transgender swimmer, Leah Thomas, aka Will Thomas. So, okay, here's a picture that I already showed you of, the headshot. And this is them while they're in the pool, right? I think they said they came in the full 38 seconds beyond anybody. 38 seconds. 22 years old. Okay, records, breaking records. And you see what's going on here. That's them in the water. Now, here's one more picture you got to see. Check this out. Look at this. All right. Now, there's a clear size advantage. Like, that right there alone, come on. Seriously, sir. Why would anybody entertain this as being okay or some kind of way fair? Why? For what reason? If somebody can explain it to me like I'm a little boy and make it make sense, then I'll be like, you know what, you got it. I ain't even gonna say nothing else. But I don't think anyone's going to be able to explain it to me like I'm a little kid. Nobody can make this make sense at all. But I'm going to go ahead and digress. I may do a video about this specifically to get into a little bit more detail. So I'll move on. The huge physique. Mr. Olympia. Okay, I digress. Okay, let's go. 720, you don't learn who am I speaking to.
Hey, I've been talking to you today. You were talking about this trans swimmer, and I think the ultimate analogy is the cheaters win sometimes.
Are you on speaker?
Oh, sorry. I've called you like 37 times. Anywho, yeah, it is kind of the ultimate analogy to tell people is, hey, cheaters do win, which is really sad.
Yeah, it really is. It really is sad because the message should be to do right, to be righteous, and do everything by the book and don't break the law because you want to live in a lawful society. But then when people do the wrong thing and get rewarded, it's like it it flies in the face of that message of do the right thing and a good thing will happen to you.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, we've gotten rid of the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts as they were. We've gotten rid of basically any social institution that used to exist whatsoever. Now we have just participation, and, well, participation isn't good enough, so now it's okay to cheat to win. And that's a disgusting thing to teach our children.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
I mean, the trans thing, go on and on. It's 1% of the population, okay, great. You want excessive rights to do whatever you want, and liberal institutions are applauding that. But you know what? Guess what? The average Joe doesn't get to have a participation trophy. The average Joe doesn't get to have, whatever. Here's everything free on a platter. Which, unfortunately, that's what this has turned into is, hey, guess what? I get to be A1, whereas, people that actually work really hard to get into that college on a swimming scholarship get nothing.
Right.
I don't know, it's disappointing. There's a lot of subject this evening, but that one is really, one of these things where I just don't understand the thought process. I don't understand why it's okay to elevate people based solely upon a personal choice that affects other people like tremendously. I mean, these young women that worked really hard to get to where they are being beaten out by a tomboy or a boy Tom or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, it's really a shame. It shouldn't be that way because, especially when these girls, they work really hard throughout their career. When they, from little kids up until middle school, high school, college, and then all that's pretty much taken away from them when a man comes in and dominates. It's just totally unfair. It's not right. It's just not right. And then what it ended up happening is, if this really takes hold, these colleges would just recruit men to swim or run or whatever instead of the women. So women will pretty much be erased from sports. And it's really a shame.
And I agree with you. And I think the big one here too is, hey, you know what? If you are male, wanting to compete in, traditionally male sports, hey, you know what? If you want to be a running back and go get popped by a linebacker across the middle, hey, go ahead. Good for you. Congratulations. That's actually really awesome and respectful.
Yeah.
But when you're, a full-grown woman, trying to swim against a bunch of girls that actually, earn their place there, that's not right.
Absolutely correct. 100%.
But hey, ABL, thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it. Always good to talk to you. I'll talk to you again.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to. All right. Now I'm something on the line I'm speaking to.
Hello?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Logan?
Oh, it's all good. About yourself?
Pretty good. I just called. I'm a retired police officer, and I've been watching this Jesse Smollett trial. And now they're blaming the Chicago PD because they said that they concocted this whole story. As a police officer, Mr. Logan, when the police showed up to interview him, he could have declined, and it would have been done right there. Am I right or wrong?
100%.
Okay. And I see Black Lives Matter supporting this gentleman now, but they just shot and killed a 3-year-old in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. 3-year-old. Black girl, shot and killed. December 3rd, last week. Not a peep from LeBron James, not a peep from Black Lives Matter, not a peep from the sellout politicians, but they're supporting Jesse Smollett. I have no use for Black Lives Matter, and I wish they would go away because they're an embarrassment. 25 black people get shot and killed every day. Every day. And nothing is said. I just wanted to thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, man. I didn't even hear about that, about the little girl that got killed in East City. because that's like right in the Virginia Beach area, because it's right on the border. It's really sad. And, you know, those kind of crimes, those kind of tragedies get totally ignored by the BLM. BLM, we pretty much know what they are nowadays. They're a fundraising group. They're a left-wing fundraising group. It's so simple, and they don't do anything to help. I think I said this before. I'm not quite sure. I think I was on the Twitter Spaces thing. Shout out to Donnie the Dine on the Twitter Space. But I was on there, and I was talking about how Black Lives Matter raised $10.6 billion with a B. $10.6 billion. How did it improve the lives of anybody black or anyone else other than Patrice Cullors? Well, I mean, I tell you what, though, that money, because Patrice Cullors got a real estate portfolio, it improved the life of the real estate agent that got that commission. It improved the life of whoever sold the property. It improved the life of the contractors and the guys working on the property and the guys that were building the security gate. It improved the life of those who built the hangar. It improved the life of those who got the plane and they're flying the plane. It improved the life of those who are being given the money for her to live in a life of luxury. It improves their lives. What about anybody else? What about the lives of those who they purport themselves to be helping? It does nothing. 10.6 billion. They just take that money and spend it on whatever they want, not to actually assist in anything. But hey, that's pretty much how it goes. Let's get to some more here. The number to call, as you know, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 248, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. This is Doris. I'm calling from Michigan.
All righty. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Can't complain. So what's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to comment about that man that says he's a woman that wants to compete on the women's swim team. Why can't he just say, I'm a woman now, but still compete in men's sports? Women that, I mean, it doesn't answer your question for, that you were saying if someone could explain it to you like a 5-year-old, but why isn't that a thing for him? Why can't he say, oh, I'm a woman now, but still compete in men's sports?
I mean, that's a great question, and he should do that. But see, the problem is it kind of defeats the purpose of him becoming a woman, in his mind at least, because he's probably not that good enough. He's probably not that good to compete with the men. So he wants to become, quote unquote, become a woman and compete against them and dominate. You see, it's like the guy that was in New Zealand who went to the Olympics with the women. He had been trying to compete with the men for 15 years before that with no success, no luck. He was striking out at every turn he went. So it's like, okay, I can't make it as a man trying to do my sport, trying to weight lift competitively. I'll go over there with the women and dominate. It's the same thing with this person, probably the same way. And a bunch of other guys that were doing track and field, they were not really good with the men, but then they go with the women and then they dominate. It's the movie Juwanna Man, but in real life.
Well, and exactly. Everyone knows from a very young age that boys are bigger, stronger, more physical than girls, generally speaking. That's the way God made us. We're all different that way.
That's right.
We have special qualities and men have special qualities, and they're blurring the lines, and it's just such a denigration of our society. And I just appreciate you taking my call, and I love your show, and thank you so much. And I will be calling you again sometime soon. I hope that's okay.
Well, that's great. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, this whole thing with these guys going over there with the women, it just can't compete with the women. I didn't think that Juwanna Man would be like a tutorial. I thought it was just a movie. Like this guy got cut from the men and he kept drinking and drugging and thugging, carrying on, got cut from the men, couldn't compete over there anymore. So now he goes to the women, he's successful, et cetera, et cetera. I did not think that it'd be a real thing, but here we are. 2021. I thought as a little kid we had flying cars, all kind of Jetsons technology. well, we got pretty good technology, but no flying cars. Instead of flying cars, we got, yo, hey, if you don't call me by my gender that I just made up right now on the spot, then you go into the penitentiary. That's kind of the area that we're in right now. It's crazy. All right, let's go to 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. How you doing tonight? This is Angela. I want to ask you a question about your. Well, I mean, I see that you're speaking about it now on the show. I happen to notice that with trans individuals, you generally don't call them by the gender that they want to be called, and I respect your freedom of speech because you can say and do whatever you want to. But my question for you is: have you ever met any trans people in real life, and when you do talk to them, do you call them by the sex that they were born as?
Well, yes, I have met trans people. I met quite a few actually. My uncle was not necessarily trans, but he was like a cross-dresser, so similar to trans, but not quite. I met a trans person when I went to LA because I filmed with Jubilee, and I met a trans man. So they are biologically a woman, but then they became a man. So I've met a few over the years just by being out and doing different things. But those are two examples right there I can give you. But to answer your question, I really don't know what people want to be called until I talk to them. I can't make an assumption because my uncle was a cross-dresser, but not a trans. So if you see him in the dress, looking like a woman with the fake breasts and everything, you may say, ma'am, but nah, he's a man still. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what to call you. This is the whole point I'm trying to make. It's like when the person was in the Sonic line and then the guy was like, hey, what do I call you? That's me. What do I call you? Oh. I don't know what to call you.
She opened herself up for it.
I can't make an assumption like that because you may be cross-dressing. You may just kind of be effeminate. You might be transgender. I don't know what's going on. So you got to declare to me what's happening, and then I might play along for that particular situation. I ain't trying to attack nobody or get anybody upset. I'm not trying to do that for that moment. However, what I'm not going to do is be constantly like walking on eggshells, having to guess what somebody identifies as in that particular moment.
Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense. I was just wondering because a lot of times you call Caitlyn, and like I said, you are a grown man, you can say whatever you want to say. A lot of times you call Caitlyn Jenner Bruce Gender, and it's
a nickname. It's just a joke. Because you know what? I'm gonna cut in because my thing is, it's just a joke. I mean, just because somebody is trans, don't mean I can't joke on them. I joke on anybody. I don't care if you straight, gay, whatever. It's just a joke. It ain't nothing to, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I joke on my own self too. So it's just to be taken lightly.
Okay. I understand that. Cause I didn't know like if you ever heard of Blair White. Blair White is very, she's a conservative trans person, and she pretty much clocks a lot of people within the trans community who are basically predators. People who are predators, people who are preying on kids online, or people who use being trans as, hey, well, you can't mess with me. Even though I am a predator, I'm trans. So that trumps every sin that I could possibly commit. Like, she's really good at that.
Right.
And so I just think that she's pretty good for that. A very good, I'm sorry to cut you off. A very good representative for that community.
Yeah, I mean that,
and you can't really tell. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like that's part of what I'm saying. It's like people that kind of hide behind this whole thing about being trans. It's like they can't be touched. Nobody can say anything to them. They're above reproach. And it's like, nah, you a person still, right? I treat you as anybody else, right? Oh, okay. Well, catch these jokes. Well, that's it. It ain't nothing else other than that. See, I don't like when people say, oh, I'm trans or I'm LGBT, therefore I'm untouchable. Just like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle jokes on everyone. It don't matter if you old, young, tall, small, black, white, everyone. So you should not have LGBT put up on this pedestal to where they can't be touched. That's my whole thing. And I think everybody could pretty much agree with that. And I think even Blair White would agree with that.
Yeah, no, she's very, like I said, she's very open to jokes and stuff like that. She even, by her own words, she's called herself a tranny. Like, she's, oh, look at me. Like, I even call myself a woman, and she's very passable. If you didn't know who she was, you would think that person was born female, but she was not. But yeah, that's all I want to ask. Oh, and another question before I go. I was wondering, have you had COVID yet? I know that you said you are not vaccinated. Have you had it yet?
I'm not sure. I may have. I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I personally, I got it this Thanksgiving. Wasn't able to, enjoy my turkey day the way I was supposed to. And I was just, I was wondering, what your methods were to keep it cool. My methods were to use like a bunch of different vitamins. I expected to be extremely sick. Doctors were super, super negative about it, but I literally took a bunch of antiviral vitamins and I was straight. It was like an annoyance more than anything. So I was just wondering what your take on was for that. But thank you so much. I just want to hear your opinion about the trans thing, and you have a great night.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Yeah, now as far as a virus, I keep hearing about vitamin, what was it, vitamin C, vitamin D, or E? I know vitamin D for sure. I'm not quite sure about C or E. Zinc, of course, I keep hearing about that. Q9, because it has elements of HCQ in it. Hydroxychloroquine, Q9, same thing, right? Or similar. And of course, just not being 1,000 pounds, that's one of the main things you could do to prevent yourself from having a harsh reaction. If you are the size of a baby grand piano, you might have a problem. If you're elderly and big, double whammy. Just lose weight, pretty much. That's my advice. All right. Yeah, get the antibody. I'll probably get an antibody test. I had a test like last year. I've not had one since then. I had little sniffles and stuff since then, but I may have had this whole thing and not even known it. I know guys that have had the bug and didn't know they had it. They got tested and had the antibodies. They were surprised. Radio line speaker to 847. Hello?
What's up, ABL?
Yes.
Hey, man. How's it going? My name is Mike, calling from Austin, Texas. Just wanted to say I'm a long-time viewer of the show, and I agree with pretty much most of the things that you say. And I just wanted to call in and say I'm a big fan, man, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Appreciate you, man.
Bye. Same too. Oh, it's all good, Logan Hurst. It's all good, man. But I'm just saying, I can make a joke about somebody being big because I was bigger at one point too. I'm about 215 right now. I'm 6'3", about 215. So I'm like, I look kind of lean when you see me, right? That's kind of how I look. But I was up to about 300, and they told me because once I had an ulcer on my toe when I was like 25. It was crazy. I was almost 300 pounds. Now I'm at a 36-inch waist, but back then I was like at almost a 44-inch waist. I was going to that store, a Casual Male XL, the big and tall store. I was in there shopping. I was in big and tall sections and stuff like that. Okay, so I was that guy. When I was younger, I was kind of big like that, like 240, 250. I was looking like Zion Williamson. Okay, not fat, but not like Zion Williamson is a perfect example. Zion Williamson, when he came into the league, if you guys know about basketball, he was kind of a little bit too big to be a basketball player, but he wasn't quite over the edge. I was like right on the edge when I was younger. And then when I got to be kind of out of high school and stuff like that, I got kind of over the edge. I was almost 300. I was like 280, 290. So I was not quite 650, but I wasn't where I am right now at about 210, 215 and pretty lean. So my whole point is that I lost weight. If I can do it, you can do it. And no excuse. I hold myself to a standard. So basically what I'm saying is I would not tell you to do a thing that I wouldn't do myself. You see? So it's all love. It's all love. And what I did was a lot of calisthenics. I still do calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. That's what you can do a lot. If you ever see these guys on the bars in New York City, like on a like monkey, the monkey bars or whatever they call them, guys be 80 years old, ripped, because calisthenics, that's a good body weight. Lifting weights and stuff like that is cool, but if you could do body weight stuff and pull-ups, push-ups, that's really good for you. If you're trying to lose weight, the key to losing weight is stop eating. Dead serious. if you're eating 3 meals a day, stop. Here's a water. You don't gotta have the fancy Evian water like me. Just drink water. Just go to your tap right now and drink it. If it's kind of dirty or whatever, that's fine. It give you a nice little bit of a bacteria shield from the bug. But anyway, drink water, no soda, no sugary snacks, no cakes and hot dogs, and 1 meal a day, which is what I did and what I do now, and stop eating so much food, fried food, fast food. 90% of the battle is what you eat. If you're trying to go to the gym, but you're eating 3 meals a day of junk, really, like here's a bad diet, because somebody, I need to say this right now. It's on my heart. So I gotta impart upon you guys. Here's a bad diet. You wake up in the morning, you got a full IHOP breakfast. You got bacon, eggs, all that, bread, a piece of toast, orange juice, Sunny Delight, all bad. Then you eat lunch. 3 hours later, you got Chick-fil-A, you got 2 things of fries, you got a soda, all the sugar. Then dinner is your biggest meal of the day at like 7 o'clock, and you go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock to go to work the next day. You didn't burn off any of those calories. You got this big crazy meal sitting in your stomach. Okay, all you're doing is just generating fat. You're going to just gradually gain weight, especially if you don't have any kind of job where you're on your feet and moving around. If you're sedentary a lot, and you just sit around all day, you're going to just accumulate fat like that. So if you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to do it at all by doing that. Going to the gym is not going to it won't make a difference. All you're going to do by going to the gym, you may become more fit. Like you might have improved cardio, maybe. You may gain a little bit of muscle on top of your fat, but you're still going to be fat. So that'd be pretty much what it is. What time to eat my 1 meal? I eat my 1 meal a day at about 1:30 p.m. So what I do is I record my videos in the morning, usually before about 12 o'clock. And I put them out, I schedule them throughout the day, usually, depending upon what's going on. Sometimes I can't do that. But I eat my meal at about lunchtime. So if I ever go out, if I ever have lunch, I eat right then and there. My breakfast, I may do like a cereal bar or nothing at all, or just some water. In the evening, I may have a handful of some peanuts to help with my digestion, get everything nice and smooth. That's what I do. Okay, so that's pretty much what it is. Intermittent fasting and stuff like that. You could do all that. But rice is good. Chicken, like if you can eat chicken and rice every day, like grilled chicken breast with no fried stuff, grilled chicken breast, rice, broccoli, that's a good meal right there. Put that on your plate. Salmon, chicken. You could do steak every now and again, but not too much. Some kind of broccoli, some kind of green vegetable, something like that is all good. Rice, brown rice is good. You can even do some kind of like Minute Maid, the rice-a-roni. You could do some of that too. That's fine. Do that. I guarantee you lose weight. Guarantee you lose weight. Especially if you're eating 3 meals a day. Stop that right now, but I'll move on. All right. And again, I'm 215 pounds eating like that. So you're not going to just you ain't going to just waste away. So that'll be a wrap for me tonight. If you guys couldn't get on, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man, but I'll be back again. I'm live every day this week. I'm live tomorrow on Tatum's channel at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm live Friday night on my man Joe Davis's channel. I'm not sure about the time, but I'll put it on my community tab. And then I'm live again Saturday, right here, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, I have videos all throughout the day, pre-recorded about whatever. I'm probably going to do one about that trans swimmer. And then another one about a lady that was pretending to be native in Canada and got found out and fired. Oh, yeah. And also, somebody else said it. Hannah RN, eat real food. Yes, eat real food. Where I live, they got a Trader Joe's. That's where I first started. Shout out to my man U.S. Daniels in Virginia for giving me the heads up. I was like, hey, where do I go for some good, healthy food? Said Trader Joe's. So I go there. You don't have to go there necessarily, but I like Trader Joe's. Get you some nice farm-raised chicken. Sometimes it's not farm raised, but whatever. Some chicken breasts. I like chicken thighs personally because it's a better texture. Chicken thighs, you can grill that. Minimal grease and fat and stuff like that. It's good for your skin too. Minimal grease and fat. Get you some rice, preferably brown, in the pot that you steam. Steam your vegetables. Don't fry your vegetables. I have a steamer. So I put my veggies on top of the water and let it steam. I'm telling you. And matter of fact, here's a good meal for you. Get some salmon, put it on the Foreman grill, put a little bit of Old Bay on it, a little bit of some olive oil so it won't stick. Get you some of that brown rice and some broccoli. Eat that. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel fantastic. Guaranteed. So that'll be a wrap for me. I'll be back again tomorrow, of course. Just do my regular videos and live on Tatum's channel. So I got super chats to read, and then I am out. Thank you to the mods for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet, so I couldn't do it without you. And thank you to everybody that's been watching. If you want to hear this stream again in an audio-only version, please go to your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links will be in the description box, or just go over there and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. So let's go over here. Hold on. That gets Buff versus Windshield says Tuesday the Portland police said they will only respond to P1, P2 calls. So I called today and asked what's the P3? Non-violence. Asked to see if someone's stealing my car. Nope. Now we the people of Portland are on our own. That's what they wanted, right? The whole defund the police thing. So to those who wanted defund the police, you got it. Now where's your gun at to protect yourself? What's going to happen when you call the police? Like somebody's in your house, you pull up to your house, right? And somebody's outside your house, they're trying to burn it down. They playing with matches and stuff outside your crib. You calling the police, help, and they don't come for an hour. What you gonna do to get that man off your property in the meantime? Thank you to Angel Rivera who says, hey ABL, thanks for your insight on the current news. I would like to see a t-shirt that says, when the media lies, democracy dies. That's a very good one. I got to screenshot that right quick. Very good one. Thank you to Les who says, forgot to mention my page ABL on Instagram, Candle Life Co. Have a wonderful night, everyone. God bless US. Yes. Shout out to Les. This is the candle that she sent me right here. It's lit. Smells great. I love it. So Candle Life .co. Candle. So hold on. Candle.life.co. Check them out. Thank you to Matthew Phillips who says Barack Obama Prep Academy, that setting off lots of globalism conspiracy bills. Too bad those conspiracies are increasingly confirmed. Thank you to Buff versus Windshield who says, when I see Hitler Clinton, I really see Danny DeVito's Penguin. Hilarious. Thank you to Leo Mazzino who says, did you know wrestling AEW has a trans Nyla Rose on the roster? I didn't know that. Very interesting. Thank you to Leo who says, why do men want, I'm not quite sure. Why do men want to become women? If men make more money than women, why become one? Hey, man, that's a great question. And shout out to Zerotis Kingsword for being a longtime member who says, good night, everybody. All right. Good night, sir. And good night, or I don't know your gender. I don't want to misgender anybody. I don't want to do that. Shout out to the earlier caller. But you guys have been great. I'll be back again live tomorrow night on Tatum's channel. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.